Well, good afternoon and welcome to Huonville for this Huonville Lions taking on Cygnet the Port here at Huonville Oval. It's round 3 SFL streaming across the globe thanks to Duff TV. My name is Tubes Taylor and I'm joined by my comrade, confidant and cobber in Aaron Peach Roberts. Peach, it's the inaugural Indigenous round here at Huonville and we've just seen the smoking ceremony. It was terrific to see.
Yeah, fantastic and really embraced by the community. Good crowd here. Tubes, the only thing is, where's this rain come from? There's a very light mizzle. And good afternoon to everyone. Looking forward to this. It's been built up for a little while. Cygnet haven't talked about revenge, but I no doubt with a lot of player changes, Tubes, throughout both these sides, we might see some alterations to how both these teams have been playing with new coaches, new personnel, new captains.
Well, it is a grand final rematch from 2020 in round 3 of the 2021 season, and we're away. Jennings up against Lane. Out it comes now. Scrappy stuff there. Jones with the pressure. Out it comes to the back now. McIndoe drives it forward for the Lions. Pushing over there was Quarrel. He can't quite get the footy through his fingertips. Duggan gets it out. Jones is in there again. There was Hay. Barnett, the little meatball, throws it on the boot. Which way does it bounce? It goes through for behind.
The interesting thing about this, Tubes, it started 12 minutes early. We were all rushing around because no one actually knew the time that the game was going to start. So Cygnet in the back defence. Some of those big outs for Cygnet this season. Cato, Fox, and also Brereton's probably missing out of that Cygnet lineup from the previous year. But we're seeing a free kick here as Cygnet aren't going to get it. In fact, it's going to be a free kick here on half forward. Shank with the ball. Looks up, gets onto his left. He goes into the pocket. Not necessarily favouring any one of these sides. Best position was Gordon. The ball's released out here in a short kick. And it's found one of his teammates further afield. We're just waiting for the camera there. Maybe Martin Duffy's not used to filming footy. He's been doing 9 weeks of hockey. As a punch over the top and Doreen loses it. And out of bounds in front of a few hardy fans there for Huonville.
So the inaugural Indigenous round here. The Huonville boys in their Indigenous jumpers.
It's a good strip, isn't it?
It's great. And it was a wonderful ceremony beforehand. Ford goes inboard, finds Lane, jumps up, and they switch the play out here now. Here's Duggan, back from the Tigers after a stint up there. He hits it out to Bailey Gordon, who goes inboard. Nice clinical stuff here from Cygnet as they move the ball to centre wing. Man leads out to him here in Tammins. He goes in that direction finally, and a nice strong mark taken there by Tammins. Inboard with the 45, finds a teammate there in Lockie Watt. Again, come from the Kingborough Footy Club. He sends it deep down towards Wiggins, coming out hard. McIndoe lost it. Schenk picked it up and got tackled without it. Umpire's going to give Nipper a free kick.
I wonder if there's an extra player in front of Wiggins at the moment. Not a bad option. He's a dangerous forward.
Schenk with a short one finds Vincent. So Vincent goes short now to Jones. Jones in that classic stack hat. Just backwards of centre. Goes out wider still. Finds a mate in Rawson. Rawson goes short again. McIndoe on the end of this one. Swings around. Wheels in, and it's a mongrel of a kick deep down inside forward 50. Run over the ball to Duggan. Lane with a DDT, and we'll see a ball up.
Tell you what, it's changed straight away. I've seen a few games last weekend in community footy, and the player has to stay stationary on the mark. And I think the player with the football forgets and realises he can actually run past. Is trying to reach down and grab that one. Nearly into the hands of Ward. I think he's given a free kick away. It took a little bit too long as Lister, one of the new players into this Cygnet side, on deep in defence at the moment. He's going to go across to the attacking side of the ground here at Huonville. Schenk in best position. Trying to win the ball was Thorpe. Thorpe's kick short. It's not too bad. And Scott Young Hay, who played a good game in the grand final. Hay to the pocket. And Hay finds a teammate running out in Grubb. A new player from the old Scholars. And he's going to have a shot on goal around about 45 metres out. No breeze, but a little mist just sitting on top of the oval. But the sun will come through, no doubt, very soon. So Grubb from 45. First real shot on goal from the Huonville Lions. The umpire moves, and so does the goalpost as it smacks into it, and one behind. So what we're seeing, Tubes, early is both teams are actually trying to maintain possession. It feels a little different than what the style these two teams have played so far, or certainly the last couple of years. That ball's just over the top of Livingston. Now he's going to go back again, has the time, goes back to Duggan. Duggan spins and then goes for a short option, but the kick is a little short and chopped off.
So Reece Ward, the part-time ruckman, as we called him for the season of 2020, spent a fair bit of time in the ruck, goes long and deep, flying high at the back was Walker. Couldn't quite get it. Duggan left it behind. Lane picks it up. Handball's off to Gordon. Goes back. And now popping it up towards Deadrock and Co. And that's a good mark there to Jones. Just the one mid out.
There's two part-time ruckmen. You could have Walker in there as well, couldn't you, as a part-time rucker?
Jones plays on quickly, drives it up towards the forwards. Walker going up, but this one pops over the line again. So the third straight behind for the Huonville Lions.
They're using him in forward at the moment, which is different for Walker than what he was when he was at Claremont. So a different opportunity for him. High in, Ward in, knocks it out. Trying to reach down was Gordon. Handy inclusion. The kick's a miss. And the mark's taken down there in defence. So they're going to try and work this one out. Doreen with it. Just going to hoof it high. Looking for Joey Doreen. And over the boundary line. Good crowd. Sun trying to squeeze its way through. And as always, Tubes Taylor, at the southern end of Huonville football ground, there's a bunch of rowdy Cygnet boys. They always sit on the back of a couple of flat trays. And they always have a lot of fun.
We can see
the trainer's bum there.
Yeah, it's a nice view.
Yeah, because they've got a ball up here. Ward trying to get into front position. His left arm went over the top. Dean was in there and he gets pushed down with Brady Jones on top of him, and he'll do it all again. So just slowing down.
Good to see Sammy Dean back in the teal and black.
Yeah, it suits him. Jones out of that ruck contest. High up, Duggan in best position. Is that a mark? I think the umpire might pay that one. Looks like young Will Fort. He has taken it. And Duggan's a little hurt as he's down in his haunches. We'll see that replay again.
Yeah, Duggan just caught one in the bread basket. Moves it out now to Dean. So Dean swinging around on the left. Goes up towards Doreen. Worked to the front nicely. Now advantage paid here. Going through the middle of the ground. Off the ground nicely by Doreen. And it's marked here by Cohen. Cohen looks up. He's got Wiggins leading for him out towards the pocket. That's a strong mark.
That's brilliant from Wiggins. And you know what was great? Thor Bostock actually dragged a defender out with some clever play. That's an elite mark. We'll see it on the replay. Look at this. He got a nudge here and still, and even a tug of the shoulder. He still marked it.
How about Shank just standing in front of Wiggins there at the end?
He's feisty, isn't he? He's still talking to him too.
Yep. There's not much of Shanky. He's got to run around in this shower to get wet.
But I think Shank thinks he's a lot bigger in his mind, like a dog.
So after three straight behinds, Wiggins goes back and has a shot on goal and just pushes it across the face. First scoring shot to the Port is a behind.
The Fox out and the Wiggins in. I like it for Cygnet with Fox moving out. And now Wiggins taking up that key forward position.
Short one comes out here nicely to Thorpe. Johnny goes short to Vincent. Takes it in front of his eyes. Nicely done. Has Rawson out wide, but decides to go across towards the wing. Good piece of play, just chopping it off nicely. Just going across the front was Clark. Clark with a handball over to Boscott. Vincent does a little dance, does Boscott, then almost does a knee, gets his handball away just. Out it comes here now for Huonville. Wiggins with strength, gets tackled hard and beautifully done by Rundle.
Fantastic from Rundle, wasn't he? He's a strong boy, Wiggins. So Rundle earns a free kick from a very competent tackle. We saw Bostock dancing, getting into the game. And now he's on the mark. They're going to bring it down towards the grandstand side. It's not the best kick. It's going to come back again. So the mark now is Cohen. He's had a couple of kicks. He goes long. Wiggins. Bostock. Couldn't mark it. Falls down to dance. Swing onto his right. In towards the goal square. Wiggins at the back. Punch from the defender. And a minor.
That's
good action.
Great stuff from Cameron Johns there. He's
the master of the golden fist.
Never out of it, is he?
So John's short. And Code, I should say, not Code, I should say Rundle's got it. We can hear Rundle. So Rundle, not a lot of options, so he's going to have to go across goal. He's going to sneak it. And the old handball. Now 1-2. High up towards half forward. It's a little too high and handsome. And it's into the wet area and out of bounds on the full.
They sanitise the footy now, do they, Peach?
No, I think we're okay with that.
Right.
The players sanitise it between the breaks. We can't sanitise everything. We're going to go short. It's a dangerous option, though. That's a fantastic grab by Parker, who climbed up and got in best position. Parker's going to go short. It's okay. He's got a teammate further afield. Walker, who's been flying early. Jones, he's going to be one out here. It was a good contest. Now it's been met on the ground by Duggan. Goes out with a sweeping handball and finds Will Ford. Will Ford directs the field further afield, finds Gordon. He's going to look to play him because he's got no other option. He's being harassed by Grubb. Makes him go backwards and finds Duggan in the back pocket.
Great defensive work by the forwards of Huonville here. As Duggan's kick is rancid and it's just out of bounds. There's a William Leach medalist for you there, and Mitch Walker.
It's a handy inclusion, isn't it, with Jones?
Very handy. Well, out of the side from last year's grand final for Huonville, Mickey Paul, Ethan Brock, Wade Booth, Nikolai Housing, Moody, Reese Douglas and Dale Thorpe. So some big outs, but they've got some big ins in Jones, Walker, Grubb, Rundle, Golding, Thorpe and Coombs. Hay can't quite get the footy away, kept it inside. Diving on it was Walker. Out it comes towards McIndoe. Will Ford's not happy with the treatment there, and he might get a free kick for kicking in danger. He does.
It feels different this game, doesn't it, with so many different personnel running around for both teams.
Well, and there's a 50. So for Cygnet, out. Fox, Bastic, Brewer, Cato, Doreen, Jennings, Verrill, Schuth, Patton, Scotland, Appleby and Burnett. Some of those players, I think there's about 3 of them that are still at the club playing in the 2s. So big outs for Cygnet, and that one's just touched across the line for a boundary throw-in right in front of Cody Rawnsley.
I think he's your favourite already with that neat little moulette.
He's right there, number 13. I love him. He's a young fella too. Could be playing under 18s, Peach.
Yeah, I don't think he's that old, is he?
So boundary throw-in right here on the forward 50 for Cygnet. Umpire taking his time to throw it in.
So I've got Gordon on Bostock, and Bostock's only going to get this.
Out the back, can't tackle without the footy, Thorpe. Boscott gets tackled and tackled high. Umpire saw it, but said, no, you ducked your head.
Well, that's interesting. What a commitment from Bostock. He tracked that ball down. Oh, I might go back and see that one in a minute, but the game's going.
Punch forward again, McIndoe through his legs. Here comes Livingston. His kick goes high and up towards Wiggins, flying high. Down it comes out the back here, nicely worked by Huonville. John's got his handball away to Burnett. Pressure came though. Boscott tackled high, and that'll be a free kick this time. Johns is not happy, Adam Johns.
Johns is, he's upset with that one.
And 50. So Thor Boscott will go back and kick the first goal of the game. And there's no pine trees, Peach, here at Huonville Oval anymore.
They've got rid of them.
So this one could end up in the Huon River.
Well, it's what I always get a little bit confused by that rule. He's ducking down, but he'd already ducked, hadn't he? He hadn't ducked in, so the onus is on the player coming in to ensure you don't make contact to the head. So for me, correct decision, although Johns was disappointed and Cygnet had the first.
Thor Boscott with a top knot.
He probably deserved it. I think the first one was a free. And it was a hard one for the umpire. He was on the wrong side. It's not critical of the umpire.
No, we never criticise the umpires here, but I can tell you that if you're bending over to pick up the footy, you got to protect
the onus is on the player to come in and ensure they don't make contact. Yep.
But you can't duck into a tackle if you already have possession.
Well, that'll give Boscott some confidence.
Yep.
The coach.
And he did kick it down to Jeeveston.
It's floating down. It's probably on one of those speedboats that zip up and down the river every now and again. So back in the middle. The ground's in pretty good nick. There's a little bit of mud and soft stuff just in front of the grandstand area. No clear handball out. Streaming through with a bit of pace was Watt. He goes wide. Finds Clark. He's got a little bit of time to recoup, pick it up and look further afield. He's got a friend up there and dance over his head. He had a little bit too much time. And Vincent, one of the underrated players down here with the Lions. Vincent now moves into the middle. A wobbly pasty. It's not going to help. Duggan's got it. He's in best position in front of Walker and comfortably takes the mark. He's got a lead on short. And he ends up going to a one-on-one contest. Strange decision. Lane was knocked out of his hands. He's been busy early, has Will Ford. Spins out of one tackle, regains some composure and find balls in the middle. They don't argue, don't mind that. Kicks it up to half forward. Doreen, he's been held here. The umpire saw it as well, and we saw it. So Doreen, in fact, actually gone the other way. There you go. We didn't see it. Keegan. Tough, uncompromising defender for the Lions. The player's starting to get used to the standing on the mark rule. Can't move. Houth.
Gee, Jackie Houth's got a little bit of facial hair.
He looks all right, doesn't he? I didn't recognise him when I first saw him run out. So Houth, driving kick to a one-on-one. Schenk lost it, as did Code. Code tries to go back and redeem himself. And Schenk takes it over the boundary line.
Well, Schenk's not used to being on this side of the ground. He must be coming off for a spell. There you go. Gee, look at Harry Thomas out there running around for Cygnet in the pink shirt. He's got about 7 layers on. Has he got a wetsuit on? There he is. Look at him. You're not supposed to have a wetsuit on. It's not that wet.
He's broken some protocol, surely, the SFL.
Boundary throw-in. That was nice by Jordan Lane. Slipping over it was Lockie Watt. And back in and got it. Spinning out of trouble here was Luke Ashland. That kicks out of bounds on the full from Tammins.
The NDO stuff stopped, hasn't it, Tubes? Both defensive groups are dominating at the moment.
I think the pressure, Peach, is revving up. The pressure around the footy. So Barnett.
I also think the forwards are rolling up a little bit and just creating a bit of congestion.
A little 6-inch meatball sub just threads it down.
Is that a new nickname, is it? You've got a new one every year.
Down the throat of Ward, of the Liam variety. His kick goes long and deep, but standing under it was Lane. Lane copped one around the head. Duggan's handball went to no one in particular. And out it goes in front of Nathan Duggan. We'll see another boundary throw in. This time it's deep inside forward 50 for the Lions.
I heard there's a bylaw for Cygnet. A Duggan must be playing for them at any given time for the next 50 years. So.
Duggan and a Doreen.
A Doreen.
We haven't got any Doreens out there, have we, today?
Yeah, we've got a Doreen.
Oh, yeah, Joey. Big Joe. Yep. Through with power there. Out it comes for Ward. Diving on the footy was Tammins. Out it comes the back here for Rundle. Grubb spins around and throws it on the boot, but it's Jordan Lane chopping it off nicely.
He's been good, Grubb, hasn't he? Lively.
Yep.
Sort of half forward, had that one shot on goal. He's been involved.
I like this from Cygnet, just slowing it down and hitting targets. Cohen out wide finds Livingston. He doesn't seem to have an opponent.
He was running near Johns for a little while, but I don't think they're directly playing on each other.
Livingston sends it long. Zeetzen in strange areas. Nice handball out by Keegan, found no one. And now they dive on it. Johns at the bottom along with Rawson. Zeetzen, umpire's taking his time there. No, just pulls it up now and we'll see a ball up.
You're right, Tubes. They're really being dragged into the contest, both sides. Being dragged into a bit of ball watching at the moment.
There's some space out there. As Lane wins that one down. Grubb through with pace. Dean tackles him hard round the afro. The handball came out the back to no one in particular. Cygnet get the ball forward again. Flying up and taking the mark there's Bailey Gordon. He plays on quickly. Swings around onto his right boot. Sends it down forward towards Wiggins. And Wiggins has got some separation in front of Dan Golding. He looks up and Thor Boscott says, go to goal.
No, that was magnificent. I saw the lead-up movement while you were looking at the main action. And there's just a little bit of a sideward bit of contact, and then he was away, Wiggins. He looks really good on the lead. Look at that. Significant distance on what is a very good defender.
Yeah, he's coming.
He's almost a perfect substitution in for Josh Fox, who they lost back to the mainland after season 2020. And he comes. This one looks straight, and it's through the middle. And they extend their lead. The Port, first goal for Ryan Wiggins.
Good build-up. That was brought out from just 2 good bits of ball movement and an elite kick. And then obviously the finish from Wiggins from 50 was a beauty as well. That's a gorgeous kick.
Well, it's slippery conditions, Peach.
Yeah. This ground doesn't hold the weather as well. When I say the weather, I mean the rain. It has become a little slippery on top of the surface. There's Livingston having a drink.
Deadrock got a half-price haircut, or is it just me?
No, that's the style.
That's the style.
He's a lot younger than us, mate. That's the new style of the lads.
A lot younger.
Yeah, well, he's a bit younger.
Yeah, okay.
Back in the middle. No one getting a hand. Then at Bailey, I should say, Grubb onto Jones. Swinging through. What a great mark. That's Will Ford again. And he copped one just across his left eyebrow. He's okay, though. Tough nut. Rundle's on the mark there. He's going to go short. It's not bad. Lane's got it. He's loping around Lane. Goes wide. The kick's not quite on the mark. Should have time here, Ford. Could he go over the top? He does. There's a player further afield. He's been knocked after he kicked the football. That's downfield, I reckon. And the umpire is going to agree with me. So downfield for a little bit of a knock after the ball. And Gordon's got it. There's a lead on, and now it's been stopped. The lead starts again. Climb up, Boscott. Couldn't get it. In the pocket. Dance. Check side. Dance did it. A delicious little snap of the right pocket. And 2 in about a minute and a half here. And Cygnet on top at the moment.
Gee, that was quick stuff from Jake Dance. We watched this here again. The ball came over the back. It was great work from Boscott to take 3 players. Zeetzen with a nice shepherd. And arriving late trying to smother there was Johnny Thorpe, but Dance too good.
The Zeetzman shepherd was interesting because he didn't look at the ball, did he? But I think they generally don't mind that block as long as it's not high.
I really like Zeetzen as a player. He's really disciplined.
What about as a bloke?
I don't know what he's like as a bloke.
I hear he's a nice bloke too.
Pretty quiet, yeah. I think. Back in the middle.
He does the little things which I know that you never did in the football field, Tubes.
No, I love it. That one came down nicely. Out it comes for Houth. Houth throws it on the boot. Jones now off the cricket pitch, sends it long and deep. Who's down there for Huonville? Ward at the back. Nice work from Duggan with a fist in front and forces a boundary throw in.
Jones has had 3 to 4 clearances. He's got such a long kick.
Fine space.
Yeah. Some players just do that, don't they? And you wouldn't say it's the quickest, but the ability to read the play, navigate his way through those situations, elite.
So another ball in deep inside forward 50.
I reckon he should have wicket-keeping gloves on when he plays football.
Just what is a hindrance or is it an assist?
I'm not sure.
So away we go. Out the back here's Hay. Tackled nice and maybe a little high. Umpire in the right spot. So it'll be a free kick going to Cygnet.
Well, they're really spreading Huonville to try and stop this run.
Boscott up against Johns. Boscott did really well. Worked it off now. Handball came out to Zeetzen. Zeetzen pops it up. Where's Wiggins and co? Going back with the flight. Golding can't quite get it. Here's Wiggins. Throws it on the boot. That one's going nowhere. It's pulled up in the breeze. Johns now with a bit of time. Dance on his hammer. Handball's out now to McIndoe. McIndoe just shoots a little short one. Out towards Vincent. Doesn't quite make the mark. Vincent goes longer still. Kicks it over the top of Golding's head. And the bouncing ball here for Doreen. Should be happy to see this one out. Keeping it in nicely was Golding.
What an elephant race that was, Golding and Doreen then. That was an
elephant race.
I shouldn't say that, but a very slow movement towards the ball.
So, a boundary throw in. Walker and Doreen. Walker works it nicely, just taps it down to his feet. Jones trying hard. Now a chance for Sammy Dean. He gets tripped. So it'll be a free kick to Sam Dean. From centre wing on the left. Throws it up towards Boscott. Boscott will fly through his fingertips though. Nicely trapped there by the Huonville defender. Doreen spins into a big tackle of Schenk. And then Houth arrives late and we'll see another ball up.
Ryan Wiggins one out at the moment in the goal square. We don't often see that in modern football with the ball within 70 metres, the most critical part of the field where a lot of scoring shots come from. Not on this occasion, no, it's going to go back. Waiting under that for a period of time. Tammins released with a handball. Gets Wilford, misses him. Jones sneaks in and pickpockets it. But the kick into the forward pocket is a bit off and out of bounds.
Just think Cygnet there just needed to slow it down a little.
Yeah, the patience
they've got a little lead. They're building and they look good when they move it forward. But those handballs at half back are just unnecessary.
Yeah, you're probably right. It was just over finessing it potentially. Early season form, getting used to it. Doreen into the ruck with his hand up. He's going to take on Reece Ward. Ward got to the back. Doreen got both his hands to it. Pitching that one out was Clark, and they've cleared it now, Cygnet. Climbing at the back was Lane. And over the boundary line in front of some keen supporters there from Lionland.
This is, of course, is Nippy's wing out there. That's Matty Schenk. He loves it out on that wing, and I know why, because most of the play
is out there. It's definitely the
over there, doesn't it?
It's definitely the attacking side with the westerly often blowing towards that part of the ground. If you're in Tassie, you need to be on the easterly side of a football ground that runs north-south, or otherwise you're going to be stuck. Walker with his left hand, just got it. Trying to run that one down was Rundle. Whipped out the back, and a quick kick coming out from Code. Brady Jones with the class, finding space where others aren't. Spinning around was Rundle, spinning too much. That is holding the ball, Sonny Jim.
Great tackle, Lockie Watt.
Yeah, Watt's been good, and he's got on a half back here for Cygnet.
So Lockie Watt sends it out wide towards Doreen, who's got Schenk in front, and that's strong from the little man. He plays on quickly.
What's he done there? It's brilliant.
We love him here. Grubb takes it on the third attempt. Ford couldn't quite get a fist. And Guy Sebastian will go back and have a kick from about 55.
He's enjoying it early, Grubby, isn't he? He's probably too far out, though.
No, I like him. He plays on quickly. It's a long roost across the face of goal for another behind.
I underestimated Grubb then. In the end, he maybe got it easily.
No, he's a good kick.
Oh, yeah, he's a very good kick.
That's a good mark.
It's a good juggler.
Short one's on to Duggan. It is Bluey Duggan, who goes out wider still. So Cygnet now with that 45. Fist came over from Schenk. Dean. That might be Tammins, actually. This one comes in and finds Lane. Lane's got time. He swings around quickly. In the pocket, here's Wiggins. Wiggins over the back now. A chance for Dance again. Can't quite get a hold of it and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Well, Dance had Gordon, but couldn't see him. He was trying to pick the football up, and Gordon was running into the goals. But Wiggins looks dangerous, doesn't he, Tubes?
He certainly does. So Johnny Thorpe will take the kick. His kick is a long one. Nice fist from behind. Handball came out to Doreen. Now a chance for Lane from 50. Sends it long and sends it out on the full. Express posted it, Peach.
It's a good build-up, wasn't it? It's opened up a little bit this game. Cygnet just on top, not just in the scoreboard. They're in the general play. They're winning possession around the contest, and they're clearing quickly in that forward line. In
saying that, Peach, it's 4 scoring shots to 5, so Huonville have had their opportunities.
Well, they've probably dropped a few marks, but just notice that they've been able to get their half forwards and just congest it when they do get the ball. Huonville, Brady Jones with his 10th touch. Coombs looks up, goes short. It should be okay. Finds Schenk. Schenk wants an option. Schenk then drives to half forward. McIndoe at the back, pushed his player down, and the umpire said that was illegal, and free kick to Code. And because of the confrontation, which McIndoe is not necessarily one to remonstrate very often, he has given away a 50-metre penalty. So the kick goes wide, trying to find a running Livingston, but you have to take it back.
I'm not sure about that umpire calling it back there, because aren't you allowed to play on when you get a 50-metre penalty?
I have a feeling there's been a slight interpretation. I'll have to check that one out. Wiggins, he had 2 to beat. Gee, going back was gutsy. That was Barnett. Tubes has 15 nicknames for Barnett.
When you're a 6-inch meatball sub, you can do that because there's just a lot of you.
Well, this is where Huonville have been good at just shutting it down. There's been maybe look for a bit of Dance or a Boscott or even Livingston in this ruck contest.
Cody Rawnsley, watch for him.
Well, that's just a thump from Walker. That's a good old strategy. Just thump the ball out of the ruck, get it out of your 50 defensive area and set it up again. So at the moment, it looks like Johns, who's running on and keeping some close checking on Boscott in these contests, as the umpire is taking his while to get a bit of mud off the football and went back into the action. Walker. Now we get it in. Walker up against Gordon. That was a mismatch.
No nominated ruck there.
I'm not sure what happened. I think both teams got a bit confused with the umpire. Livingston marks the wobbly punt. He's got a lead on. Doreen to the back. Didn't get paid because there's a little hand on it. He reckons it was a mark. We're going to have a contest here, 45 out from the Cygnet goal.
Yeah, Joey Doreen, just John's got a hand on it.
Yeah.
So out it comes McIndoe, one of the Wheelie Bin brothers, throws it on the boot out towards that man in Golding. He takes it easily. A couple of boys wearing stack hats today, and you know how much I love an armadillo. And there's a siren for quarter time. So despite the scoreboard reading the Lions zip 4-4 to the Cygnet Power Port, 3-2-20, a 16-point margin in favour of the Port, I still think it's pretty even, Pete.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think Cygnet probably had a little bit more possession. They looked a fraction more capable and dangerous going forward, and that was partly because Cygnet were able to turn the ball over in the dangerous part of the ground within 70 to 80 metres of their scoring end, and they got Wiggins one out, and then the other goal was that clever little snap from Dance. But yeah, you're right, it's relatively even around the ground. McIndoe going back late in that quarter just to steady things down, but to me, I really like both teams' defence. John's just out, moving out a little bit, but the defence of Will Ford in particular down back, Duggan was good, and Gordon running off. It's an entertaining, sort of last 10 minutes was quite entertaining. Yeah,
it certainly is. For the goal kickers, Jake Dance with a beauty, Thor Boscott with the opener of the game, and Ryan Wiggins with one from about 55. We'll take a quick break here. We, of course, must thank all the sponsors on screen for having us down here. The second quarter coming up shortly here on Duff TV. So second term about to get underway here at Huonville Oval in this inaugural Indigenous Round. Great initiative from the Huonville Footy Club to recognise their past, present and emerging Aboriginal leaders in the community. It's a 17-point margin in favour, or 16-point margin in favour of the Cygnet Footy Club. A little bit of undisciplined stuff, Peach. Some 50-metre penalties being given away, but
a couple, one from verbal, another was probably two from some verbals, and the umpires are quick on that, and they should be. That should be a zero tolerance. But my question this quarter is, where are Huonville going to get their goals? They've got Liam Ward up forward, and you've called it Walker up forward as well. So a slight change here for Huonville going forward, and here they come.
Out comes Jones with a quick kick around the corner. Duggan, though, chops it off nicely. Gets a little bump from the meatball.
Well, they're not going to be happy with that forward delivery. Their first opportunity, clear kick, and it got nowhere near. Duggan just drifted in and got an easy mark.
Schenk off to Vincent. Vincent's got Hay short, decides against that and goes deeper into the pocket. Now Ward flies. Duggan came over the back. Now a chance for Duggan of the bluey variety. Hits it out to Tammins. Tammins turns and he's got nothing to kick to. So Livingston's on short. He takes his mark right on the defensive 50. Goes in on that 45 and kicks it nicely and finds a teammate in Watt. Watt plays on quickly, runs around and then sends it long out towards Ford and co. Bailey Gordon's there. The handball comes over the top nicely to Lucas Ford. Coming in hard. That was good defensive work there by the Huonville player on the bottom of the pack. I think it's Golding. And we'll see a ball up.
So just the narrative, I think, of the two teams at the moment. Two forward entries in this quarter. Huonville didn't get anywhere near one of their key forwards.
Keegan, I should apologise.
So no one winning that one out. Lane maybe got a hand. A quick ball movement forward. Boscott just missing that one. It came off. Johns with a handball. Then a fresh airy. Dance trying to go down. Dishes it out to Watt. Watt's ball smothered. Watt's going to get it back again. Tight in the pocket. Screws it around. Up to the top. Johns at the back. Defensive work required. Livingston on the edge. That hit high. Grabbed his head. Made sure the umpire saw it. And he's going to get a free kick.
And
let's have a look.
Why you have a fringe, Peach. We'll see this one here.
The flick of the fringe.
Yep. Watch this.
Well, to be fair, he was down. And unfortunately, Will Ford's tackle, I should say, not Will Ford, I should say Thorpe's tackle, and now Doreen directly in front. Now just fixing up that said fringe. We'll have an opportunity to extend this lead here for Cygnet early in this second. As we mentioned, Huonville went forward a couple of times. Now it's Doreen's chance with that little Tassie two-step going. And it works. Doreen with one early goal here in the second quarter for Cygnet.
Well, it was only just for Joey Doreen. It wasn't the most impressive kick I've ever seen, but it goes through the middle, so it's 6 points.
Yeah, the result is all the same at the end. So nice ball movement, sloppy arm there from Thorpe. And maybe the run of the green for free kicks are going the way of the Cygnet Port at the moment, but they're deserving it. They're in front. They're getting to the ball a little bit quicker. And they're going to have to turn this around fairly quickly, Huonville. They want to work their way back, or at least stay in touch in this game. But we know these two teams ebb and flow, don't they, Tubes? They go back and forth. That's what we've seen over the last sort of 12 months.
Doesn't matter where they are on the ladder either, Peach.
Yep.
They're always into each other.
So a bit of push and shove in the middle of the ground. We're back underway. Ward with his hand on it. Now he picks it up again. Steadies the ball. Grubb on the lead. Just falls in front of him. Then he lays a tackle. It's going to be held up here. So nice lead out by Grubb. He's looking dangerous.
So ball up here on the forward 50 for Huonville. Mitch Walker comes up to do the ruck work. Going back is Liam Ward. Back to full forward, I should say. Punched away nicely by Lane. Out it comes the back Rawson. We haven't called his name a lot. Out he comes towards Ward. Ward gets tackled by Doreen. Livingston. Handball's off to a running man in Code. Code's kick goes long. And that's one's out on the full off the boot of Dan Golding. And Zeetzen will give it off to Wiggins, who's got a big hoof on him. Why not have a shot? Hit a torp. Decides against it. Goes longer to Zeetzen, who made his way out of the wet area. He swings around onto his right boot, sends it long down towards his teammates there. Boscott with a double grabber. It's in between his knees, and we'll see a ball up here.
He's flown a few times, hasn't he, Boscott? He's nearly got hold of a couple as well. He's an interesting move forward from him. Really good forward player for Lauderdale. The delivery might be a little different here in the SFL.
Ward wins it down towards Johns. Johns quickly throws it on the boot again. Rawson's underneath it, and he flies and has a second go at it. Goes back inboard. That's a dangerous kick. Who's down there for Huonville? Well, the numbers are there for Huonville. They just need to get it out. McIndoe trying hard. Houth dives on it. Big wrestle there with Sammy Dean. Running through, though. Nicely picked up. Was quick from Johnny Thorpe. And the handball comes out here for Johns, who gives it off to his brother Johns. Now the kick into space. Out comes Grubb. Grubb's handball is a good one. Vincent, handball's over the top. Kept running, did Rundle. Rundle swings around. He's got time and space. He analyses the kick. Just forced under the footy there was Ward. Schenk, Grubb, touched off the boot. It's all numbers here for Cygnet. They just need to force it through. And they decide to tap it across the line, does Lane.
It's hard to get around Lane. At the moment, he's standing his ground, but that was a little bit more patient, the build-up from Huonville. They decided to just bomb it in, and a little short kick into the middle was the right option, but Hay couldn't quite get onto it. So throw in left-hand side pocket. As Lane and Walker get set, we're about to get the footy. That umpire's just taking a while, and now he throws it high up. Lane falls down, somehow still gets the football though. I'm not sure how he did that. Gordon dribbles it in front of himself. Gets it back again. Barges through one, barges through a second. And tackle laid by Houth. It's going to be held up. So goal needed here for the Lions.
Sorry to cut you off there, Peach. That was brilliant work from Jackson Gordon, just coming through with pace.
Well, that's a free kick given away here. That's interesting.
Undisciplined stuff.
Houth giving that away. So half back, half Cygnet. Gordon's got in his hands. Really good defender at the moment. So they're going to go across laterally. It was dangerous. Jones has got the pickup. Jones's handball, a bit rushed, but it's okay. Rawson under some pressure. He just gets his handball away. Rundle's dragged. Did he dispose of it? The umpire's saying, well, he didn't because he was taken without the football. So there's a short. There's Hay on. He decides he's going to kick there. He lobs it up and Hay misses it. Over his top, deep in the pocket. Doesn't have any time. Runs out of room.
Great stuff from Bailey Gordon chasing Hay down there.
It wasn't a great kick though, was it?
No.
That was an easy...
There's the free kick. So he
definitely free kick.
Didn't take possession of the footy. Smart work from Rundle.
So throw in here. Key moment to see the Lions can scratch a goal in this right pocket. Walker with his left hand. Running through was McIndoe. Rushing out was Rundle. Misses Rundle. Now it's to Lister. Lister just bombs it out. There's a lot of players here. And as always, Cameron Johns with the long sleeves marking defence. Johns goes short. Vincent's got it. He's got a lead from Hay. He's got Jones further afield in the pocket. He's not sure either. McIndoe ran past, then Johns. A wobbly one in. Grubb misses him. Running through some traffic was Will Ford, and he clears it.
Out it comes here. Boscott's handball was a scrappy one out to Clark. Clark goes inboard to Cohen. Cohen looks up. He hasn't got a lot to kick to, so he just waits and sends it out towards Wiggins. Wiggins missed the footy. Out it comes for Keegan. Now back to Cohen, who gets on the end of this one. Throws the Clements Mitre 10 Sharon down towards Doreen, and Doreen takes a nice strong mark in front of Johns.
Gee, Johns doesn't very often get beaten one-on-one, does he? Even though Doreen's taller.
How about this mark, Peach?
This is a beauty. Just got his left arm there. Just got some distance. That's fab.
So, Doreen.
Has he got it in him from here?
I get ripped every time I call a Cygnet game because I say Direen.
Direen.
But it's Doreen.
It's got to be more punchy, doesn't it? Just get it out.
Yep, Doreen. From about 45, a little scissor action there. And his kick is straight. And he's got his second of the quarter, Joey Doreen. And this lead now out to 28 points. Oh, Peach, you got the mobile phone going. Goodness me.
I really have it going.
Silence all phones.
That was just back to that for Doreen to cover and kick a goal. He's actually got to take 83 little steps. That's his number each time, but he ended up floated it through, but it was
like an overlocker, the sewing machine, isn't it?
Fat mark, wasn't it? Yeah, a little Woody Woodpecker just in the spot, but an effective release onto the foot and the goal.
So 5-2-32, Cygnet lead the Lions, zip 4-4.
So Lane in the ruck, bashes it out. The handball comes out. Johns misses it. Dance running through. Awkward but effective. Doreen reaches. Couldn't quite get it. Now Huonville will try and rebound. Chasing his Barnett. Slips, gets tackled. He's going to be in trouble here. He just looks up at the umpire and says, please don't ping me. And he doesn't.
Oh, gee.
I think he was okay.
I don't know about that one from Barnett.
It looked bad. It looked worse than what it was.
It was almost ice skates, wasn't it?
He certainly lost a little bit of space. Or lost some traction in there as he put the brakes on and grabbed the brakes on his little bike. Now he tries to bash his way through. That was more effective. Houth misses it. Schenk handball. Now some run. Rawson looks up, doesn't have a lot of options. He's got to try and swing around Lister. Now he just moves it to Rundle. Bostock comes in. His pressure's great. Flying handball out the side. Lane now. Bombs it high. Wiggins in front. Just falls in front of his feet and out of bounds in the left pocket. In front of Doreen. Is looking very dangerous at the moment.
Well, we saw in the 2020 Grand Final, Peach, Thor Bostock basically trying to will his team across the line to be more competitive in that grand final.
He was playing sort of just behind the context where he's been able to get in front today.
Yeah.
He looks dangerous, but hasn't quite gone his way at the moment. But I imagine it might in a second. Punched by Lane, or should say Doreen. Sneak in, easy goal. Gordon, look at that. What's he doing up there?
Well, he's got one on the board, and Cygnet extend their lead.
That was Boscott again. We'll see it on the replay. Composure and bullying and effort. And now Gordon's going to have a rest. Just always involved, getting players, knocking them out of the way, and a nice little rove.
I don't know how Bailey Gordon's allowed to get goal side of his opponent there, Beach.
We might see one more time. You know why? Because no one knew he was there. And he's just run off the ground. He'll probably go to half back. There he goes. So
Alex Vincent.
It was Vincent tracking, but Vincent's not playing on him, and he's not playing on Vincent. So it's just a, I think you've got to, sometimes you've got to go with it, don't you? And just try and get on him.
So here we go, back in the middle. Doreen up against Ward. Ward wins it down again. Out the back, here's a chance now for Lockie Watt, who shrugs one and shrugs two and gets caught holding the footy. Great tackle from Liam Ward. He's got his brother out wide if he wants. He decides against that and kicks into the man on the mark. Barnett back in the middle. Hay got his handball off. Pressure came from Luke Ashland. Out it comes for Watt. Watt got his handball off, and now a chance here for Lister rather. Lister goes long. Now Wiggins comes out to meet the footy, just juggles it through the fingers, now round onto the left. What's he got? From 50, sends it long towards goal. Who's down there? Lane shepherds it through. Which way does it bounce? There's a chance here for Rawnsley. Round the corner, quick kick. Behind.
Oh, he deserved that, Rawnsley, didn't he?
Gee, I like the way he goes about his business, Cody. He's got a real fast haircut. Johns just racking up the Supercoach points out towards Ward, and that's a strong mark at half back.
That when their back half's still working well. Hay getting a little bit of space. Hayes going to move it on. He finds Quarrier, another one of your favourites, Tubes Taylor. Quarrier's got a player on short in Grubb, decides no, and now he's going to have to go high towards the pocket. Well, he hasn't helped anyone. Schenk somehow gets him for the side. Hay goes to help him. Schenk goes in and pushes him up right in front of us. And the boundary line and a very aggressive whistle from the umpire stops play for a second.
How about the hair on the umpire? That's sensational. Yeah, get on him, Duff. Look at that. Wow. Look at it.
That's
beautiful.
That is a mighty bush right there.
Beautiful.
That's a bush. High up. We are concentrating on the footy. Don't worry about the dribble that's coming out of our mouths about the hair. Walker, high in. 2-on-1 situation. Never going to win out that one. And over out the boundary line. Not in the right position at all there. And they're really struggling to find a cohesive footy into their forward line and get an opportunity for someone to get something for them. We've got Golding up there at the moment. It's gone over the back of anyone. Grubb might get there first. McIndoe does. Big contest. Gordon banged into him. Then McIndoe spins. Kicks it up. It's been punched down. Houth lays a tackle and takes it over the boundary line. So a bit of scrappy stuff in the right pocket.
Of course, that boundary umpire right there is James Fielding, Owen's boy. Hello to Owen, who will be out there, one of the Duff TV photographers from time to time. Good on you, James.
He's got a good hoof on him, that boundary umpire too. Schenk looks for a handball, had no one, gets off one tackle, goes short. It's really good from Schenk, and a mark taken in the pocket. Well, that was quality from Schenk, because just for a moment, he looked like he was going to launch the ball, but in the end, he decided Parker was a better option, and the youngsters got one and a chance, and this is Huonville's best chance.
Yep, Julian Parker rather. And of course, apologies for the live stream. We're having buffering issues, so people must be down here on their Wi-Fi networks.
So Parker's kick, and the Lions are on the board. They're first, halfway through the second. And they keep in touch here in the rematch of the T20, I should say, the 2020 Grand Final. T20. Oh.
No, well, that's been a long time coming, that goal for the Lions. We, of course, know that in round one of the SFL, Cygnet got out to a real hot start against the Hobart Footy Club and then basically stopped Peach. They were about 8-4-52.
About, that's quite specific, isn't it?
Well, I think, I can't remember if it was 52 or 53, but it was about a 52-point lead after the first term, and they ended up with 12, 84. No, I was up there. It was a beautiful day.
Well, if your hair didn't move, you don't go anywhere where it's windy, do you?
No, I try to make sure the stack hat stays well and truly on top. There he is, Mitchie Walker, one of the big units.
Doesn't lose many ruck contests, does he?
No.
McIndoe's having a laugh there.
For Cohen. Cohen's kick is a high up and under, down towards the few players there. Walker was at the bottom of it. Cohen went and got it again. Out the back for Watt. Walker now on hands and knees. Handball's out to space. The only man out there is Tammins. Tammins can't quite get a hold of it. Schenk came in. Look at him. The wiry frame of Matty Schenk. He got his handball away. Just. Out it comes now for Vincent. Vincent's handball out to Walker. Walker looks up. He's got Grubb. Grubb takes the mark in front of Duggan. Wheels around on the right foot. In towards Jones. Jones's kick goes long down towards Golding. The Armadillos sticking together. And Golding takes the mark. Gets called to play on though. Nice tackle from Duggan. And
he slung a sling. Yeah, that's correct. I know it's correct because I went to 2 tribunals last year for that exact tackle.
Well,
they had plenty of hands on it, but this is just on the edge of a sling. There it is there. That's a sling. That is exactly. Unfortunately, that's the ruling, although nothing in it from Duggan. That was not him being overly aggressive, just the technique is a little dangerous, and that was right on the edge of probably deserted, because I reckon that was a mark.
Yeah, I think so too. In comes Golding. What's he got? His kick looks all right off the boot. He's happy with it. Is the goal umpire? Yes. Huonville with a couple in a row.
Well, unlikely Golding up forward, but he was in the best position with that kick. And once again, 2 nice entries from Huonville. A bit of thought going forward, and they've resulted in a couple of goals. Both from that pocket. Didn't look confident, did he, on his left?
No, it was an interesting ball drop there, Peach.
But a nice result. Sun out. There we go. Might dry this bit of water on the ground. It's been a good second quarter. So Huonville just fighting back after Cygnet extended their lead to plus 30. They've now dragged it back under. Walker once again doesn't win, doesn't lose many. Shank just boots it off the turf. Race on here. Hay with some pressure. Tries to get his arms around Ashland. Gordon was a fraction late. And we're going to have a bowler. So the Lions starting to get some consistency with their forward entry. McIndoe's moved into the ruck, or I should say into the ball with Walker. It's a good combo. Shank as ever, providing pressure. Nice little dish out handball from Boscott. He got it onto Tammins. High kick into the forward line. Jumping in onto that one was Keegan. We've mentioned his defensive qualities, and we're going to do it all again.
Gee, I love the way.
Well, Boscott and Houth are having a bit of a dip at the moment.
Yeah, they love each other, don't they?
I wouldn't be anywhere near Boscott. He'd eat me up.
Yeah, he loves it too.
Yeah, it certainly continues to be involved and engaged, and his eyesight on the ball, he just tracks it so well. Johns, there he is again. He always knows where the football is. It sounds simple, but he's always able to get to it.
That's Keegan, actually, Peach. There's a couple of ginger fellas down there with beards that look the same.
It does, yeah. What are we going to do? Can we do something about that? And a throw up lane coming over the top. There was Doreen, I should say. He knocks it down, and a tackle laid by Dean. And he holds it up for a little while. No, he's still going, Dean. Gets a little sneaky handball out. Now it's kick high towards the forward. 50. Zipping back and forth. The camera work there. We're trying to look outside the box at the moment, and he's run out of bounce. So sloppy commentary from me and some sloppy camera work. Not our best. 8 days of hockey coverage, and I did a game yesterday too. I commentated the gold medal match, and yeah, I'm probably out of touch at the moment. To be fair, mate, I'm looking for a penalty corner.
You can have a pass this time. That's a good kick. Here he is again, Gordon. Around the corner this time. Nice fist from Deadrock. Out it comes the back now. Getting it away, there's Johnny Thorpe. His kick comes out to Rawson. Rawson, who's probably still in cricket mode, gets his kick up towards Houth. Houth from half back. There's a short one on him, Ward. And Liam.
Sure, mate here today from last year.
Which one?
The one who was talking into the effects mic for about 5 hours.
Oh, yeah, no. Thankfully, he's not. There they all are. There's the peanut gallery. Look at them. Is that the Premier there?
No, I wouldn't. No, the Premier today is at Lilydale.
Oh, right.
For their 100th game, 100th year.
Tap comes down. Sammy Dean gets it out. Now rolling out the back here. Nice tackle by Dean. Cohen kept going. Numbers here with the Lions. Out it comes for Houth. Houth's kick is up and over the top. Ashland's going to get there first. Oh, no, it'll be Gordon. Gordon with a little bit of don't argue action. Got his handball away, and he's called for a throw.
It's good work.
Good work by Golding. Look at him.
He's pumped, isn't he?
Yeah, you can't fend off and then throw it. Well, you can't throw it ever, to be honest.
Yes, you can't play netball during football.
How tight's that helmet? He needs the next size up, I reckon.
Just releases the bottom strap. Well, you don't want it falling off, do you, when you get whacked?
It's like his face is being pushed out a little bit. Then comes Adam Golding. On that left boot, the interesting ball drop. He's not happy with it across the face of goal. Goes through from behind.
Maybe it is cut off a bit of oxygen just to the top of the cerebellum.
So Ford will take the kick. He's got Gordon on short and Duggan if he wants. Decides against it and goes out wide of the lane. You have your favourite players you want to kick it to, and I reckon Lane's one of his favourites. Gordon's on, Ford's on short again. He'll go that way. Nice pressure coming in. Ford again, short one. Finds a teammate in Watt. So Watt looks up. There's a lot of numbers up here. Cohen's on short if he wants him. Decides against it and decides to go long and deep down towards Wiggins, who flies high and takes a strong contested grab. Inboard he comes. Numbers here everywhere for Cygnet. As Dean takes on one, got his handball off now to Gordon. Pops it up to Cohen, who takes the mark. Flying late there was Keegan. Short one's on to Boscott, and Boscott's got it easy. So that was coast to coast stuff from Cygnet with possession footy.
We're just seeing the versatility of Wiggins though. He's now moved into the mid, well, not necessarily the midfield, if he's further, he's rolled right up, and now we've got Boscott back. I mean, this is that flexibility that he can create.
Yep.
Boscott deep. Oh, geez, he's dangerous. 1-on-1 is as good as anyone pound for pound, isn't he, Tubes?
In comes Boscott. He certainly is, Peach. That's a nice kick off the boot, but it's just fading to the near side. Goes through for behind. Got Ryan Wiggins just breathing up a storm in front of our FX mic down here. He's come off for a spell. You see him just come into shot right there.
Well, he's using up a bit of energy. He's tracking through the middle and he's covering some ground. And he's one of the batters at the moment, isn't he, Tubes?
He certainly is. Jones from fullback sends it out towards Walker. Walker will fly here. And Ward came in. Handball came over. The Ward brothers just combining there nicely. Out it comes for Rawson. Rawson just threw it like a rugby throw. In comes, is that Zeitson? No, that's my man Lucas Ford, who's got a bit of the Zeitsons about him. His kick comes off and finds Will Ford, who's had a fair bit of it, Peach.
Yeah, he's been one of the better off half-back.
He sends it long into the forward 50.
So Ford long. Hasn't got anyone there really of note. And Keegan's got it. Keegan to Rawson. Rawson stops, props, and dishes up to McIndoe. But Duggan comes out and takes it. Duggan dishes off the handball. Cohen. Heenan goes to Code. Code, precision. Nearly got a running Cohen. And is it still in play? Yes, it is. And Keegan forces it over the boundary line. But a nice build-up from Cygnet. And they look dangerous when they're in the open space of Huonville Oval. Just a little more pleasant now. Surprised you haven't seen a politician here, Jews, as you mentioned.
Oh, I saw a couple of potentials. I saw a couple of potentials here.
But, oh, okay. The ones that are on the next ticket, you reckon? The ones that are building. Yep. Throw in, Ward in, can't get it. Dancing coming through and dancing. Is he going to keep it in? He can't. No, it's still going. Oh. Rawson continues to apply pressure. And a juggling. He's wanted it.
Dan Golding there.
Zeitsman there was just kind of in him and sort of Golding to hang on to it. So Golding, in the end, Zeitsman's hands got it to a little bit of sloppy football. That's not much better. And 40 seconds of average stuff as Johns to McIndoe. McIndoe streaming through half back. Schenk marks it a little bit further up. Swings onto his left. Golding's got it. Golding looks up, hasn't got anyone. He's running lane around at the moment. It's an interesting matchup. Shorts in the option. And he finds Rundle. So Rundle now chips up. Jones, I should say, in the middle. Hasn't had a lot of touches, but it was very engaged early. Rawson, all this space. Oh. Runs to 65. Walker, can't get it. Going down, trying to win that one on his knees. His Quarrier. And the umpire says, give it to me.
Does this footy need a bit of air?
Yeah, it has come off the foot, the ball, or I should say the feet. Yeah, it was sort of a real dull thud about it, hasn't it? And the umpire's happy with it at the moment. Walker in the ruck contest. His arm out. I tried to hack it out. Couldn't quite win it. Houth was in there. Will Golding get there? This handball misses him. Tries to protect the space as Bostock bunched through. Quick kick into the pocket. But it was a little misdirected. And Will Ford has had a beauty. Wiggins now has just come back onto the ground. Wiggins has a player further afield. Livingston's ignored. Now there's another player running on. He's going to have to get his act into gear. Now he goes high. It's not really going to advantage anyone besides Johns. Nearly marked it. Johns will go back again after he dropped the mark. Gets around one. Handballs to Golding. Golding's got two to beat. Can't beat one. Out of bounds. Yeah, it did, but I think the umpire didn't see it.
Well, that was a throw from Jones, but we'll let it go.
That's fine.
We'll forgive him. He's earned a pass, I guess. So we'll see a ball up here. It'll be Ward and Lane. Lane wins it down. Happy to see this one across the line.
Oh, that's nearly a sling as well, isn't it?
Well, probably should have been. The umpire fielding says not out of bounds, so we'll ball it in. Good to see the young fellas out here earning a few dollars. So Ward and Lane. Hay tapping it on to Jones. Duggan pushes Jones off the footy, then just sends in a rank kick. I'm not even sure what he'd call that. Hay punched it away. Out the ball comes now. Deadrock back in to that man in Lister, who gets it off to Dance with a worm burner into Boscott. And I reckon we're really close to half time here, Peach. And this will be a bit of a thorn in the side of the Huonville Lions if they drill this one.
Yeah, getting close to 5 goals. That's a fair margin, isn't it? It's kind of that 30-point barrier is a hard one to come back. But I kind of feel they're working their way back, just a little bit sloppy with some of their disposal.
So Boscott, who end up kicking from about 46 metres, sends it nicely through the middle of the goals. Another one for Boscott and another one for the Cygnet Port Power Footy Club. How's that kick from Dance? Gee, you love those ones as a forward.
Just goes to show pace is just needed in modern football. Dance has got plenty, and he got a little bit out, and it was a nice kick.
How good does Cody Rawnsley look? His hair is sensational. I would love that stuff.
At the end of the year, Tubes, I wonder if you could do your
top 10 hair.
Well, I think maybe you'd pick a team in position of best hair per position.
So we're going to start at the halftime. The stream will stop. We'll restart the YouTube only on Duff TV via a new link. We're having buffering issues here, so apologies to our live stream viewers. The game will be on YouTube.
Now, there is a warning here for
666 maybe.
Are they counting? I'm trying to roughly count.
Yeah, no,
there's one Cygnet player not enough, and he needs to get to the wing. So now doing the move. Lister.
Yeah, that's the warning. So they'll throw it up. Let's throw it up all the time, I reckon. Wins it down, Jones. Jumped on him hard, did Lockie Watt. Bailey Gordon's in there too. A little bit of confusion here on the bench from Cygnet's point of view. I reckon that's Harry Thomas's fault. Out he comes, there's a tackle there. Bailey Gordon's going to get the free kick. There's Harry in the pink. So just go and sort it out, please, Harry.
Are they high-top football boots? What's going on there?
They're horrible. Here comes the kick inside forward 50. Bouncing ball over the back towards Boscott. Boscott somehow just kept it in. Golding's going to get after it, as does Johns. And Johns is happy to see it across the line. And they'll throw it in. So this quarter now out to 30 minutes. We've only had 4 goals scored in the term.
It's slowed down a bit too, hasn't it? The tempo after that initial burst from Cygnet and then Huonville came back. It's just slowed. That'll be something Huonville will be happy with.
Out the back here, big tackle late. And the umpire will... free kick, is it?
Weren't a free kick there.
Just a bit high. So Zietzen's going to get it. Let's have a look again. Oh, no, it's not Zietzen at all. It's Ryan Clark. Apologies to you. Peach, you had that one wrapped up. So Clark will go back.
Well, Clark was wrapped up, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Tackle.
Well, the ice cream van's here, Peach. Half time, you beauty.
All right, on a soft serve.
In comes Clark across the face of goal.
I feel like Clark hasn't had too many set shots. He just looked a little rushed.
So Johns will bring it out now.
What were the hot chips like before the game, Tubes? Are they an option at half-time?
I don't want to start this too early in the season, but I want to say that Huonville's almost the best canteen in the SFL. There you go.
All right.
And there it is, half-time here at Huonville Oval in this match between the Huonville Lions and the Cygnet Footy Club. The Lions 2-5-17 trail Cygnet 7-5-47. The goal kickers for the Huonville only 2 in a half of footy, and they were both in that second term. Adam Golding and Julian Parker with 1 apiece. For Cygnet, it's 2 to Joe Doreen, both in that term. Thor Boscott's got 1 in each, and then singles to Jake Dance, Bailey Gordon and Ryan Wiggins. A very intriguing game of footy, Peach. I think we say this a lot in our broadcasts, but the scoreboard doesn't necessarily reflect how close the game is. I feel like Huonville have been a little wasteful with the footy, and Cygnet have been a bit more calculated, a bit more kick to the 45, mark the ball, possess the footy.
They've been more confident, and that's allowed them to be more patient, and their structure has been altered a little bit. So Wiggins went more towards the ball that quarter and was rotated through. They tried to get Boscott back. Huonville played around with their forward line. They tried to get Golding, who had a bit of success. Grubb went back in there again. We saw Ward down there as well. So they were trying to mix and match. But you're right, that initial last entry, the last kick into the 450 for Cygnet is just been a little bit better. And the defensive work from particularly Gordon Duggan's been good at the back. Lane, when he's been back there, I've been impressed with. Their whole back half has been excellent. Livingston's, when he's come on, he's looked dangerous. But at the moment, it's a forward line that's functioning against a forward line that's kind of working itself out. But the mids, I reckon, easily break even. In the midfield, it's a roughly break-even game for both sides at the moment.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. Of course, it is the inaugural Indigenous round here for the Southeastern Tasmanian Aboriginal community, and we're respecting our Indigenous community thanks to the Huonville Lions Footy Club. It is a 30-point margin in favour of the Port. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Stick around here on Duff TV. So, third term about to get underway here. An interesting game of footy. Peach, Tubes Taylor with you as well. What are your thoughts, Peach? Oh, look at this. Sponsored content.
Is that should Bogues be in that sponsor? Is that even engaged? I mean, obviously, someone being a little cheeky there. Martin Duffy, obviously. Look, Huonville is certainly competent around the ball. They probably look not quite as effective going forward, as you mentioned that. So, yeah, they've got a bit of work to do.
I think they've got targets up there, Peach. You know, we've got Walker down there at times. He's in the ruck right now, though.
It's more the ball in, though. That's the delivery into that.
Yeah, I agree.
They've mixed and matched a bit, and they're trying to work it out. And anyway.
Here we go. Walker, fist out, come from Jones to McIndoe, but Watt gets it forward. Rolling ball inside the forward 50 for Cygnet. Nice shepherd by Jones for Vincent to work the ball through the middle of the ground. Quick kick out wide over the top of Ward, and that's what we've seen all day, Peach. As Ford comes in board to Lane. Lane with a nice long roost out towards Ford. And is Will Ford, of course. He does a little bit of traffic cop and then sells a bit of candy. Goes long and deep. Boscott at the back. Schenk at the front of the pack. Has time here. Through the middle. Nice fist in there from Dance, and tackling hard there was Keegan. And we'll see a ball up.
But even then, Boscott had 2 to beat, and that's been the case for him all day. I mean, admittedly, he's playing a little loose. Like to see him on the lead. Keep that ball nice and low. He looks dangerous.
So a ball up here. Walker wins it through. Comes Boscott from the pocket. Oh, hamstrings a little long there. Well, Jones hold on his hammer.
Wiggins back deep now in this quarter. So that's going to be a nice little contest. He's very deep, in fact.
Big tackle laid nicely on Lister. The handball came out the back to Houth. Houth off to Johns, back to Johns, and now Vincent. Vincent's kick down towards Deadrock, and Deadrock plays on. He loves this sort of stuff. He throws his head back because that's a rank kick.
He was never, ever going to pass that, was he? He was going to launch into a bit of glory.
Man on there, boys.
Yeah, well. Tubes Taylor, we haven't sat next to each other for a little while. There's a little shenanigans in the box at the moment.
Having a good time.
Yeah, it's all safe and fine. So Huonville will try and launch into something through Rawson, Keegan, I should say. Now they've got a handball on. Ward, Barnett bangs it. A little bit of a hoof, ineffective. And Wilford's got it. So Grubb's gone onto that forward line. Now he's back at half-back. Schenk in best position. Just harasses enough. McIndoe, clever little handball out. Code, over the top now. Here's a chance now. Hey, there's a goal. So the Lions get the first to the second half. A little bit of harassing work. And then over the back of the end, the easiest goal possible for Hay, and they're away.
Well, that's the exact start that Huonville needed to get back into this game, Peach. They were 30 points down at half-time. And I'm sure Billy Lamprey will be out there just revving the boys up at half-time and getting them to try and get that start.
Well, I think their structures are a little different. They got Walker back in the ruck again. Jones has been running around the middle for most. McIndoe's in there. I don't mind this combo. I think they're best served when Walker is on the ball and getting his hands to it. He'll get his hands first. The other one running in there is Houth too, just on the right-hand side of the screen with Watt running next to him. It's a good 4 players in there, and there's that thump. Jones onto his left. High ball, getting down. Great contest at the back. Still in play, Duggan with the bump. Hay with the push. And a little slippery down there in that left pocket. And it might be a ball up here. No, yep, it is. So handing that back is Gordon. Players on the bench trying to keep warm there, just jumping up and down. Here's young Clark.
There's not much of him.
All right. The lights might need to come on. It's only got a little dark in the last few minutes. Walker in front position. Tries to back it over his shoulder. McIndoe tracks it. He can't get it. High kick out. Thorpe nearly there. Then he tries to lay some pressure. Doreen's going to just see the ball just disappear into the wet area. And hopefully it comes back in a one piece. So Rawson just started to get into the quarter. I should say get into the game. Johns. Tight, not a lot of space. Little Barnett, he's got it. Barnett, option short to Grubb, who leads out. And he's looked likely at times, Grubb. And now he's going to be out from 45 to 50 metres, left-hand side. We'll see what it's like.
He's like a little Hyundai Getz, isn't he, Barnett? He's about the same size as one, and he operates in a small area.
Grubb from 50. It's going to fall short. No, it's not. The Lions, they've got a couple. Unconventional, but that wasn't. That was an elite kick from Grubb. He's looked capable on a couple of occasions. He's had a few shots, and now he's got one for the Lions.
What he'll do for you, Aaron Grubb, is he will compete. He's a known goal kicker too. Barnett goes in and gives a Hyundai, gets a high 10.
Tell you what, it was a good slap of the bum too from Barnett on Grubb. That's solid.
So we're back in the middle. Mitch Walker's really taken it upon himself to insert himself into this game. As you see Jacob Lister in front of us. So a ball up again. Walker with a leap. Taps it down to his teammates. Coming through there was Dean. Dean copped one off the ball there. Smart work again. Here's a chance for Cohen. Cohen short. Out towards Zeitson, and Zeitson takes a diving mark in front of Tom Keegan. Just gave himself a little bit of separation there.
That was a good kick too from Cohen. Look at this. There, just at the last minute. He's able to control his kick and all by himself, and nowhere near it was Keegan.
Made it hard for him, really.
I maybe kicked it a couple of metres, but he kicked it into an area he's going to run to. A couple of lads there just enjoying the day. Saying, go long, go long.
So in comes Zeitson, big Jimbo. It's nice off the boot. Across the face of goal, though. Through for a behind. So the first score of the half for Cygnet is a behind. Johns will bring the ball out. He looks up. If he goes long, he's got Alex Vincent. Short one's on here. Finds Johns, of the Adam variety. Johns to Vincent. The fist came from Ford. Now a chance for Lockie Watt. Through the middle of the ground. Handball's off to a running Dean. Dean's short one's on. Zeitson's going to get another opportunity from about the same spot. He goes inboard and finds Boscott.
Gee, McIndoe's upset with that. Boscott. Yeah.
I love that.
But he just smiled right at the camera. Yeah, Zeitzman was very good then. As soon as he marked it, he turned. Got to a position where he could pass it off, but there's those two ball movements forward. They just look a little bit more comprehensive.
Smart work to kick it to your coach too, ensuring a fair bit of senior footy for James Zeitson this one. In comes Boscott. Love the way he comes at the goals. Doesn't like it off the boot. This one misses to the far side.
And straight away, McIndoe ran straight at him and they had a little contest.
Yep. So Jones to take the ball from the back. I'll tell you what, he can roost this and find Walker. Lane, Walker with strength, couldn't quite take the mark. Lane got a handball out there somehow. Quick kick came forward by Ford. Gordon now needs pace. Boscott, he won't take a step backwards. Looks over the top. Here's a chance for a mark. The fist came down towards Livingston. And we'll see a ball in.
Nearly paid off that clever play from Boscott. He tried to chip it up and find a teammate. It was a good contest.
I just heard the Cygnet runner. I'm just getting told the messages, don't spray me. I'd spray you too, Harry, if I were one of your players. Boundary throw in. Fist came down. Zietzen gets wrapped up in the tackle a little high. So Zietzen's going to get his third shot on goal, or second really, because he took that one inside.
You've got to feel sorry for Jones here. We'll see it on the replay. He just rushed in here. Yes, he got him high. It's high, but he's not overly tall, and Zietzman's a little bit taller. He didn't really get him, but it's still high. Still free kick.
It's funny, isn't it? Because if you're going to get him high, you might as well get him high hard. That was almost like a little cuddle.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zietzen from the opposite side this time. Very similar spot, and he sprayed this one to the near side. So 3 straight behinds for the Port. Johns will take this one again. Umpire's just holding up play there to get the extra clearance. Might attend Sharon off the ground.
Tell you what, Cygnet have missed a few opportunities, haven't they, from set shots? They're probably for players that don't have a lot of set shots.
Short one's on here. Finds a man in Parker. Parker plays on. That's a kick out towards Walker. Dean got his handball off just. Quick kick around the corner, bouncing ball. John should gobble this one up. He does. Then gets tackled by Dance. And we'll see a ball up. We're getting a fair shot of Cam Johns' underdacks there. Let's see a ball up again.
Thanks, Tubes Taylor, for that segue. I'm not sure what to do with it. Looked like Walker got a free kick. His jumper was tugged. Lane's going, I didn't do that. Well, yes, you did. I saw your left hand right clenched and grabbing his jumper just above the number 23. Short to House. House going to have to go short again because he had no further option. Grubb leads out. He's getting involved. Grubb to Schenk. Schenk waits and waits. Now gets it. He'll play on always. Runs around to his left. You got to know that. Schenk into the pocket. Fraction high in the end. Ward just keeps it in. Golding, left boot, Golden. From Golding, a 6-pointer.
Well,
he's got his second.
That hurts for Cygnet. They were doing all the attacking and then they go coast to coast, the Lions.
He's capable, Golding, today. He's kicked a set shot. He's had another one. Little tap here from Ward for the foot onto Hay. He kind of tapped it on volleyball style, and then Golding on his preferred foot. Swung it around and stuck it through the high diddle, and they're sneaking their way back into this.
Creepy, aren't they?
creepy. Tubes Taylor's creeping away. You've eaten a few lollies there, mate. You just devouring.
I was going to say that things I haven't done in quite some time is commentate footy and then devour lollies.
I think even when you're in your car and all the driving with the Tubes van, you don't eat this many lollies?
No.
All right, so thumping fist from Walker.
He's been the difference this quarter.
Lucas Ford. Now Dean. Handballs backwards. That's just popped up height. Waiting is Doreen under it. Walker again, you're dead right. He's the best on at the moment. Dance dashing out of the forward line. Boscott in the pocket. He slips over. Handballs over his head. Contest here with the 2 Moulettes. And they're found the boundary line.
Love that, Peach. A couple of little mullets going at each other in Brodie Rundle. Is it? No. Johnny Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe.
And Cody Rawnsley.
So we've got to throw up left-hand side. Yep, they're still at it. Stick the same jumper on. You couldn't tell them apart. Doreen in front position. Now there's a bit of dash out. Barnett gets the ball further out. Now some run from Watt. I should say some run from Grubb. Oh, great mark climbing up. Ward. He's just moved a bit deeper. I like it. He was deep for a while, but now he's gone to centre half. Ward's kick's effective. Rundle now. He wants someone to get a lead on. Now he runs past the player on the mark. Runs to 50. Delivers high. Golding somehow again. Handballs over the top. Hey, he's got it through. Hay's got one. The Lions are back. The Lions are definitely back. And Hayes snuck one off his boot. Tiny bit of leather contact on that football, and he got it through for goal.
I reckon that's it, he stops. Check this out. This is smart work from
Just
Golding.
a bit of lack defence there from Cygnet. This game's turned around and just got a shoelace on it, and it just got through in front of Duggan. What a beauty. And look at high-fiving him. It's Golding's head off.
No wonder Golding's wearing a helmet. He's copping high fives across the brow.
That was a beauty. There we go again. Get off.
Come on. We're not getting paid any money from these people.
Do they want to be involved? It's tough doing the call-out.
True. If anyone from whatever that brewery's called, what's it called now?
I can smell it from my house,
Kieran?
actually.
I don't know who owns it.
Yeah, I'm
anyway.
not sure. Someone owns some conglomerate. Back in the middle, things have lifted here. 9 points. We're seeing a topsy-turvy game of football, as we expected. Johns lays a tackle and holds it up.
Well, you expect the reigning champions to come back, don't you, Peach?
Yep.
Off the ground. Barnett's going to get a free kick here.
Is that kicking in danger?
Yeah, for using his voice. So Barnett in front of Tammins. Goes short. Walker. Smart. Handball's off to Vincent. Vincent's kick goes down towards Jones, who gets pushed in the back from Bluey Duggan. We'll see a ball in.
Yeah, there was a little nudge there, but umpires going to struggle. That young girl down there, the Cygnet water carrier. She's
Hallie Bone.
Yeah, she's one of the most vibrant little water carriers going around. She has to remember the COVID rules are you can't be on the ground with your water carrier. You got to wait till. Well, you got to have at least the names marked with some of the new protocols. Yeah, well, you can't just run it.
Well, we're not here to bully.
No. She's doing the right thing at the moment.
Kicked around the corner from Cohen. Johns doing as he does. Oh, gee, you got to watch out for those poles.
And the card came close as well. The Triton.
Zeetzen came in and gave him a nice little wedgie. What's he got? Nothing to kick to, really. Short one's on to Jones. Decides against that and goes down towards Ward. Ward's handball out to Golding. Golding goes backwards towards Rawson. Rawson's got a couple of players to beat, and they just sandwiched each other. Rawson picked it up and threw it on the boot. Doreen.
That's a mark.
Smart.
Look at Grubb coming to the end. Just plonk on him. Schoolyard tactics from Grubb. What a rascal. There we go. Bonk.
70s haircut and 70s tactics. Doreen.
Walker nearly got it.
Yep. Sam Dean.
I've got to say, that pocket, the boundary line seems to creep closer to the fence. I don't know, is there some sort of distance? I look here on the right, at the other end of the ground, there's a nice couple of metres, but gee, that boundary line seems close to the white line.
Jesus, people here today.
Yeah,
biggest game of footy in the south.
700 or 800 people, no doubt, in the ground at the moment, and about 800 cars.
Lane wins it down. Ward came through hard. The kick was tried there by Rundle. Now I'll see a ball up again. So some scrappy stuff here in the third term. It's going to be a free kick holding the footy.
Had to take it back, didn't go at the mark. Hang on, is that 50?
And 50.
That must be for Chad again.
Not sure.
Well, Lane's going to get it, but yeah, it's a little.
Lane down towards Boscott, and Boscott takes a mark easily. Unattended, really. Can't call that a contested grab, can you, Peach?
Well, yeah, no, John's got on 2 men.
All right.
2 feet off the ground. He's got a great vertical leap, Boscott. He's getting some advice now from some people just to the left of us. Now he's in his interchange box. Tell you what, I bet he wouldn't set up like that if that was Huonville.
So in comes Thor.
He's in there somewhere. It's like a putt, isn't it?
Oh, there he is. He just comes off the bench. Gets nice and close to the man on the mark. Goes across the face of goal. Doreen with strength. Then just drops the footy and says, all right, someone pick it up for me, please.
Johns needed to come in and try and punch that one, but Doreen was in a prime position. Let's see it again.
Yeah.
Johns just stood there. What? I felt like he was in the wrong spot. Yes, he wasn't in the contest, but Walker just got pushed off. That's a quality contested mark.
So Joey Doreen go back and kick his third. Swing around a little bit and then just send it home. So the first goal of the third term for the Port goes to Joey Doreen. after a strong contested grab just outside the square.
You know why he struggled with that? Because his 18th and 38th step, which are really close together, was just as he was turning the corner. It was a good finish.
Great finish.
Yeah.
So that margin now out to 15 points. This is such an interesting kick. He comes in and then goes, nah.
Tricked everybody. Good finish. He's been good, Doreen. Really consistent player. That's probably a kind of a needed goal, isn't it? Out to 15 points again. But that was just stemming some positivity from the Huonville Lions, who are back on. Walker crouched and ready. Taps over, tries to find Jones. Jones has got some pressure from Gordon, and they just lay on the ground and pretend. And they're going to have a throw up here. Game is opened up a little bit here in the second half. You're on Duff TV, SFL round 3. You are watching this after the fact because we struggled with some interwebs. It didn't happen in the Valley today.
Must be quite a few people down here at the moment.
There, everyone's on their phone, twittering, and McIndoe, big fan of Twitter. Might have been a high tackle. That may have been a high tackle too. Good call from the umpire. Rawson just waited for the ball. Then he released out to McIndoe. McIndoe's handball's chopped off. Rush forwards.
Rundle.
What's Rundle doing up there?
Well,
that's a good mark. He's got a good leap, Rundle.
McIndoe's handball came back into his breadbasket and threw it onto the boot.
Hey, it's a good leap from Rundle. And it's a good mark also in front of Wilford, who's also got a good vertical leap. So Rundle's kick, swinging back for a goal. And they get one straight away. After the goal at the other end from Cygnet, Huonville respond.
Well, I tell you, I've said it before, Peach, but the move of Mitch Walker into the ruck, instead of the permanently into the ruck, I should say. I'm not going to say anything about Wardy, but Ward's been the difference. Yeah. Ward's given them a target up forward too.
Ward's good forward. I think he's led out really well. He's played a bit of a decoy. 7-5 to 8-8. Got to love that little scoreboard. Not many that aren't electronic these days.
No.
One of the few. And a nice big font for all the fans. There's plenty here. Walker, once again, I don't reckon he's missed any. Rawson on the edge of that. High. Looking for the goal kicker. Can't get it. One handball out. Duggan then finds a player right on the boundary line. It's going to have to go high. A chippy little kick. Clark couldn't get it, and then he does butter it up. Clark goes short. Boss got on the lead. Boss got in front of Johns. He pops it up towards the pocket. Doreen in best position. Just missed it. Just tapping it in front by Tammins. Then he goes to ground when he needed to stay up. Tammins couldn't get it. Then he gets back out. Doreen's tight in the pocket. Floating kick still in play. Lots of Huonville players around that. No one's going to get clean possession. Johns with a flicky handball out. And Jones just hacks it to Lane. And so going to come back again. So Lane's got a lead on. He goes low. Looking for Doreen on the second grab. Takes a stunning two-toucher. Doesn't worry about the mud that's sitting on his left cheek. And he's going to have another shot on goal. Yeah, plenty of attention on him as well.
Yeah, and that's good to see the fringe flowing around. Great mark from Joe Doreen. Cody Rawlsley, my man, comes in and gives him a little pat on the backside. So just for goal number 4, Peach.
Yeah, he's been considerable at the moment. Doreen in front, maybe the slightest of angles. The dance step's about to come. And then the contact on the boot. Doreen steadies and steadies the Cygnet team. Puts his arms out and then thrusts the fist and gets some slaps of congratulations for his teammate. Doreen's got 4.
4 goals to that man on screen. They've come at a good time for the Cygnet Footy Club after 5 straight to Huonville to get themselves back into the game.
5 or 6, yeah. And the ratio of steps to goals for Doreen is 155 steps for 4 goals in his run through. Very efficient. There's a lot going on out there at the moment. The game has certainly got tighter on the scoreboard and tighter in general play. And as always happens, Tubes, in these clashes, it tends to even, doesn't it? Always evens at some stage. Someone's got to take the initiative. Walker at the moment is influencing this contest, and he's going to not win that one. His lane does get it down. McIndoe can't win it. Dean in there. Little tap off the ground. McIndoe might get this again. Now flips out to Rawson. He gets tackled by two poor players. And he's held up. He's going to have a ball up.
So a ball up here, just forward to centre for the Port. We've got a free kick going to Walker. Yep, over the shoulder, according to the umpire. So Walker will take the kick.
He's right to question that, Lane, but I can understand also the free kick.
He goes in to Jones, the former Clarence footballer, now playing at Huonville.
State captain as well.
Yep, champion footballer. He goes down towards Grubb. Grubb just holds the body tight and throws it on the boot, rolling ball inside forward 50, goes through from behind.
Clever when the ball's near him, isn't he, Grubb? Whenever the ball's within his radius, he's very elusive.
So, how's this, Peach? Only 10 players from the grand final are in this same side for Cygnet, and 15 for Huonville. Played in last year's grand final. So two very different sides.
And we're seeing it today, but it's the same rhythm though, isn't it?
Yep. Nice kick. And that's a strong mark to Johns.
That's a rhythm we usually see at Huonville. Johns taking great contested marks.
Johns into the middle of the ground looking for Barnett. Handball came out nicely from Lister to the captain, coach rather, in Boscott. Now Ashland with a bit of pace. And Zip heads over the top. Golding's now got some time. Zeitson arrives and pushes him across the line. Goes through for behind. We've got a few fans out here at the Duff TV van. Boundary throwing right in front of us here.
They part of your entourage?
No, I don't know. They probably know me though.
Yeah. No doubt.
So here we go. Walker and Doreen up in the ruck. It's a flat throw. Doreen takes it in the air and he's wrapped up very quickly by Mitch Walker.
This is going to be a strange comment, but both these boundary umpires doing a fab job. They throw the ball in completely differently. One's flat, one's high.
Got to read that though, don't you?
You've got to understand where it is.
Boscott with a clever touch. Diving on there, Zeitson. Umpire says no, give it to me. It's not Zeitson at all. I think it might be Code.
The umpire there's going to call a free kick. Oh, sorry, blood rule.
Blood rule. So Dean will come off.
I thought for a second he's going to have a crack at the guy just in the crowd to the left who abused his colour of shirt. Something about green something. I thought he was going to give a free kick. Who do you support, he was going to ask.
Yeah. Through the wheelie bin. Out it comes now. Handball comes out to Doreen. Doreen to Boscott. Boscott, a little bit of fancy footwork. Puts Mitch Walker on skates, and then Bailey Gordon takes the mark.
I don't reckon we had a better view. Straight out of the van window, and Boscott shakes himself off. He got around two, then he found a little avenue and drilled into Gordon. That was just stunning football. Here it is.
Watch him put Mitch. Oh, a little bit of skate work there from.
That's going straight to YouTube, that footage, with a bit of music.
Well, we are streaming on live YouTube. In comes Bailey Gordon. We like him here at Duff TV.
My word.
It's pretty close to the man on the mark. Just sends it long and sends it home too. Bailey Gordon gets his second, the third of the quarter for Cygnet, and that margin back out to 21 points.
Boscott, once again, crafty, clever, great use of the football. His ability to see people in better positions. That composure he has and the confidence to pretty much get around anybody. He would have been a hell of a character in primary school with a British Bulldog, wouldn't he?
Oh,
You would have never have caught him.
No.
He'd still be running. That was a super finish too from Gordon. He's been good. And they've got it back out. It's a ripping match here on Duff TV. Hope you're enjoying it.
Like this though, Reece Ward comes back into the middle. The part-time ruckman.
The Walker's got to get, well, he's only part-time. There's only a couple of minutes left here, Tube, so he's going to do a bit of casual work in the ruck, get a nice pay. McIndoe in there, he can't win it. Houth trying to get onto it. Running pass was Cohen. Push to the ground. That's not about a free kick. I reckon Houth's given one away here. I think we technically call that being a little overzealous. And Cygnet trying to get a late goal and push that lead out to a similar metric than it was at half-time. Lane it back. Ward in there. He's just sat on him. And that's ball's going nowhere.
We haven't seen Ryan Wiggins. He's playing down back.
Yeah, he's in the back line. He's been all over the place. He's pinged back and forth. So, Ward and Doreen fight it down the ruck. There's a heavy fist. Ward again, the other variety. 2-on-1 here. And somehow sneaking that one. A bit of fancy work was Parker. Now it's on to Hay. Spins out, tries to find a teammate running past. All he finds is Ford. Ford knocks the ball further afield. Vincent and Parker. John's knocked off it and he's thrown to the ground again. Yeah, he's been nowhere near the forward line for the last little while. You've got Lane up there at the moment, like Zeitzman as well. Really think Walker's influence has been significant, and since he's gone out of that ruck area, his McIndoe's kick has been touched. Hay couldn't mark it at the back. Houth in there laying a tackle. Bostock came off the bench and got it. Sneaky stuff from him. That's going to be a free kick. No, not a free kick. The umpire let it go. Hay going in. And then Bostock wrapping it all up.
Caught on the wrong side there, the umpire.
Yeah, that's it was a light contact as well, but certainly a difficult game for just the two umpires in the Southern Football League. Much different when there's a third. Ward didn't get a clean hit to it. There's a rush kick out, so it's tightened up. Lane, wrestle, great wrestle on there. Going back and trying to win it was Johns. Big call out. A bump in there, and Bostock says, howdy doody. But all fine. Really fair player, Bostock. That was a nice little contest, and I really like the way Vincent dragged himself off using Bostock, which means Bostock, yep.
A little step over.
That's great stuff. Right in front of us. And a lot of fans here just huddled around the van waiting for Tubes Taylor to come out and sign some autographs. No one getting it clean. That might have been a free kick there to Gordon. He looked like he was taken without the football. He's now going to dring the ball into the forward 50.
That should have been 50.
No, it's not, but he just didn't. He just dropped it.
He's pegged it at him, though.
Oh, come on, Tubes.
You can't peg it at him. Anyway, he's got away with one there, Alex Vincent. Umpire just arguing with Alex Vincent a little bit there. So Bailey Gordon won't have the journey in him, or will he? No. And that's a good mark to Ward. Ward swings around. He's got Houth out wide.
Another long quarter, isn't it?
It's a free kick downfield. No, free kick downfield against Bostock.
Well, they need a goal here. And Walker... I think Walker knows who's got it. It's going to be McIndoe.
Yeah, it'll be McIndoe. So 50 against Bostock there. Goes down towards Golding. Gordon flying over the back. Golding lands on his feet, then gets dumped in the footy.
Well,
hurt himself a little, yeah. Out the footy comes. Golding's still struggling to get up.
I reckon he might have hurt his neck as he went down. Maybe that
helmet's still a bit too tight.
No, he's still...
Just loosen the straps there, Mr. Golding.
Well, the reason is clearly that's why he's wearing it.
So boundary throwing again. 31.5 minutes gone in the third term. Can't be long left. Livingston got it out to Houth on the opposing colours. His kick high up and under finds Lister. Lister across the face of goal. This will work out okay. Wiggins looks up. What's he got? Nothing on the agenda, so just sends it long, and there it is. 3/4 time here at the Huonville Rec. It is Huonville 7-6-48 and trailing Cygnet by 20 points, 10-8-68. Goal kickers for the Lions, 2 to Golding, 2 to Dylan Hay in that term, and then singles to Grubb, Rundle and Parker. And for Cygnet, it is 4 goals to Joey Doreen, 2 to Bailey Gordon, and then singles to Jake Dance. Thor Boscott's got a couple, and Ryan Wiggins has 1 as well. Well, I think the move of Mitch Walker was more than the scoreboard's been affected, Peach. I think he probably wrestled it. It was 9 points there at one stage, and then a couple of quick goals to Cygnet wrestled it back to 21 points.
Every time Huonville got a sniff, Boscott did something for Cygnet.
Yep.
Set up a goal, he wheeled himself into the game. His presence, 60 to 70 metres within goal range for Cygnet was outstanding. But I agree, Walker in the ruck, when he was there, completely changed the dynamics. Jones started to get into the game. Grubb was moving up to half forward and looked really dangerous. Rawson started to get a little bit of ball on the outside. He's so dangerous with his movement, and even Houth was able to play a little bit more free out the back and to the edge of the packs, and he's a good user of the football too. But credit to Cygnet, they were really fought hard in that quarter. Huonville came and Cygnet steadied. This game's close though, 20 points is not enough at the moment.
No, we'll take a quick break here at Duff TV and be back with the final instalment here of this round 3 SFL match between the Huonville Lions and Cygnet. At the moment, it is a 20-point lead to the Cygnet Port Footy Club. We'll be right back. Fourth term about to get underway here live from the Huonville Oval.
Are we live though, technically?
Well,
we're
yeah,
live,
no,
but it's not going out live, is it?
We're live, okay? We're live. We are live.
You are alive.
It is a 20-point margin in favour of the Port. The boys from down the road here in Cygnet are beating last year's grand final winners, the Huonville Lions. Drastically different teams though. 7 out from Huonville and about 11 out, 12 out from Cygnet. And I went out and had a listen to Cygnet this time after going at quarter time. I went out to the Lions, but 3/4 time I went out to listen to Cygnet. And Thor Boscott, starting in the middle.
That's what we're waiting here for. Is it just part of the drama of community football?
Well, they're just building it up, listening to me talk dross.
So what do you have to say?
Thor was just talking about using the footy, continuing to use the footy, and being strong in the contest. He's really happy with his back six.
Well, he's on the ball now. We haven't seen a lot of that, have we?
No, he said that he'll rotate very quickly out to the half-forward line with Bailey Gordon to go back into the middle.
What a luxury, though, for Cygnet, that he can just go be thrown in on the ball and then drag himself forward.
Insert himself. He's up against the wheelie bin in McAdoe. And there he goes. He's got it on a string too. Sends it long and strong down to his forward line, and Zeitson comes out to meet the footy.
What a revelation. He's been up forward tubes.
Yeah, Zeitson's kick is a rank one. Wiggins got it off. The handball came out to Jones in the opposition colours though. Out now to Rawson. Rawson's kick, short to Walker. Walker's looking up now. No one really to go to, so he plays on. Handball's over to Houth. Houth's handball misses the mark, and it's Watt off to Livingston. Livingston looks up, has time. Could have taken a lot longer than that, and Doreen takes the mark.
Tell you what, we know how good Johns is at defending. That's Cameron Johns, but Doreen's been a step in front all day.
Well,
yep, the length is there.
He's given away a little bit of height.
But Johns needs a different strategy. I mean, he's got the distance. Dance was coming in, but he gave a little bit too far, as Johns often floats, doesn't he, and takes so many contested marks in defence for Huonville, but he's getting beaten by Doreen at the moment.
So, Doreen will kick from about 55. Swings around. It's not going to make the journey, and pushing it back. Ryan Wiggins not happy about it.
Wiggins thought, I got that, haven't I? That's mine. He was nearly in the car park too.
Pushing them back there, so Golding will take the free kick from fullback.
So, early stages, the score hasn't changed. We've gone a minute and a half. Walker out, not going to get to him. Rawson had to jump up and try and reach it. He might get the tap on here. The boundary line might become the friend at the moment for the Cygnet Port. And a bowling. It's been topsy-turvy. Huonville coming back in that third quarter, but a couple of steadiers as Boss got himself engaged and involved. Walker's been the best probably on the ground. Hayes been all right when he's been near it. Needed to go back and try and get that. And he's been harassed by a couple of Port players, including Livingston. And the lights are on. We need them. We need them on. We probably need a few more lights too. Not overly big. Lane with the free. Driving kick. There's two players go down inside the forward line. Boscock on the top. He's given away a free kick. I think it's for a high or a push. And Andrew Johns has got it. Hands ball off to the other variation of Johns. Rawson, been his day so far, just over his head. And it goes over the white line for a throw-in. Bit of work being done on Walker there. I think a bit of tape on his finger. Might have just caught one in a recent ruck contest, so Ward's going to go into the ruck. And now finds its way out to Ashland. Ashland kicks, tries to get Doreen. John's in there, nearly push out. Wiggins is back. High tackle, not called by the umpire. Dishing down and dancing is Thorpe. Thorpe's dished off it. Dance in the pockets. He's put it across the face and out on the full.
Kick that one to Mountain River. Know my Tasmanian geography.
Might have been more Crabtree, to be fair.
Oh, how's that for a seat? That's the best seat in the house.
Or maybe Lucaston. Well, there was actually, I pointed someone out there. They're actually sitting in the back of a sedan with the boot up just to try and keep themselves warm. It's a 50 here. So Huonville will get it out with a bit of free tutelage or meterage.
Peach, Cygnet Footy Club, right? I know they're a port down there. They've got a little port and whatever.
Yep.
And they've called the port. They adopted the playing strip.
A Port Power.
Yeah. Called themselves the Ports in 1998, right?
Same year that Devonport adopted for a little while as well.
Yeah, but they used to be the Magpies.
Yep.
They missed an opportunity in there.
There's a push out. Still a chance now. The back of the pack. Jones dribbles. Jones goals. And Huonville get the first in the last. And a little smile on the face of Brady Jones. He knows he got one that he probably deserved earlier. And it was a bit of a freebie at the back.
Yeah, great goal from Jones and great build-up from Huonville. Just a dangerous kick there from Grubb. Nice penetration.
It just missed everyone, didn't it?
Really did.
Jones.
Jones just cherry-picking. Gee, nearly missed it too. What I was saying before, Peach, so they started out as the Magpies. Then in 1998, they joined the SFL and they were the Port. They're called Cygnet. Surely they should have been the Swans.
Well, I mean, maybe that's
baby.
Yeah, I gather what a cygnet is. Maybe it's too much.
No,
two swans, a baby and a daddy swan or a mummy swan. Is it too much? It's interesting how we've gone down this rabbit hole. I'm not sure what a swan nest is called, but
well, they could call it the nest down there then, couldn't they? Handball was missed there by Clark. He went back and got it though. Grubb's hot on his hammer, scooping it back. Clark goes again. Nearly got his shorts ripped off, and out it comes now, and the handball comes back into Gordon. Gordon's kick goes long. That is Jackson Gordon, but Johns of the Adam variety pulls this one out of Thor Boscott's reach.
Tubes, that is the most research you've done on a club. That's great. We want more of that.
No, that's it. Reece Ward got it out now.
History out with Tubes Taylor.
The little wheelie bin, the recycling bin, or the wheelie bin, because Mickey Paul's not playing. Not sure where he is. Ford goes back. Gordon with a short one out towards Cohen. Cohen can't. Geez, Jones caught one high there. And
that's interesting because Jones went down. I'm not sure what else was going to happen other than copying one high.
Plays on quickly. Didn't get called to play on. Walker now. Duggan over the back. That's the Duggan. And he's holding the footy. Play on.
That's a goal for Hay.
He's got another one.
Wow. Told you, we just can always smell a Huonville comeback. Well, whichever team's in front in the valley, that's the Huon Valley. The other team always finds a way to wheel themselves back into the contest for bragging rights with this part of the world. The two most southern football teams in the world.
Dylan Hay loved it.
He likes a celebration. He banged a couple in the grand final. He celebrated hard there. And I've lost me a little bit of spring out of my pen. What's going on?
Margin's back to just 8 points here at the Huonville Oval. Boys and girls doing a great job over there on the scoreboard.
There's a lot of vocal at the moment. Plenty of movement going on.
Ball up here. Ward wins it down towards McIndoe. McIndoe playing it forward again. Coming out to meet it, Grubb. McIndoe gets onto the end of this one. And this ball's going to roll. It'll roll through. Brilliant stuff from the wheelie bin. We're waiting for the umpire to give the all clear, and there it is.
Holy trousers, Tubes Taylor. Here come the Lions. Hunting down a Cygnet, a small chick. And that is a stunning roly-poly from James McIndoe.
It was a rubbish kick off the boot, but it just bounced as our oval Sharon does, thanks to Clements.
Did they invent it, did they?
Well, they did it this year. They put a lot of money into it. Clements might attend. Just go to the fork in the road. So a rolling ball in, side forward 50, brings the margin back to 2 points, Peach.
We've got an electric finish here. Boscott in the middle against McIndoe. What a matchup that's going to be. House coming to the middle as well. Gordon's in there. Jones tries to win it. He's up against one-on-one with those two champs. Former TSL players, captains, and going head-to-head. Dishes out the handball is Gordon. Tries to find a teammate further afield. Reaching down his lane. Can't get it because the ball's too far away. Fortuitous to Johns. Johns chips up. Grubb misses it. Bostock streaming through the middle. Zeitzman climbs up and grabs it from very high. And he's going to go back and have another shot. A bit of a revelation forward, Zeitzman. And we'll see the quality of the delivery here from the omnipresent Thor Boscott. Tubes Taylor's trying to get me to make sure I correctly pronounce Zeitzman. I do miss the second Z. I'm mildly autistic. Oh, sorry, I should say mildly Asperger's or something. That kick is...
Oh, what a goal.
A beauty.
That's the first goal, or the first score for Cygnet in this term. They needed it, Peach.
The double Z from Zeitzman. That's a beauty. And a good mark. Tell you what, he's taken a couple of good marks on the lead. Really difficult, isn't it, to run out and try and take that leading mark.
The kick was good from Boscott coming in. And you're right, the two champs going at it, Brady Jones and Thor Boscott. That's what this competition could do, is at the later end of some of these champions' careers, they come back and play some SFL footy after playing years and years at the top level. And
they're able to bring some expertise in the coaching as McIndoe's just on his front. Livingston's kicked it into... is that actually the tech? It's a call for kicking in danger or whatever it was, or it was actually a throw on the end. I feel like Livingston. Anyway, McIndoe's got it. He swings around, kicks it high. Walker at the back, fly at the back. Couldn't mark it. Walker taps it down. Hay off the ground. Hay delivers another. He gets a couple in the quarter, and that gentleman there is going to have a very sore palm as he's smacking that hoarding. And it's a ping-pong game at the moment.
He's got 4, Dylan Hay.
He just keeps bobbing up and kicking goals. He's elusive. It was a good delivery. Just a quick ball in. Walker was in there. And the fly, and off the ground, a drop kick. We'll call that a drop kick.
Well, Lucas Ford needs to watch Dylan Hay a bit closer, I reckon, because that was all pace from Dylan Hay.
Quarry back on the ground now. So yes. the flop and the flow, the mains are forward at the moment for Huonville. It's really lifted. There's some excitement around the Oval. Ward's now starting to win the ruck contest. Grubb nearly winning that one. 50-50 for Thor Boscott. Couldn't quite win it. Now it's elusive. It's out in space. Livingston just smacks it out of the pack. Fist on it. There's Hay again. Parker. Livingston. They're both tangled up in that one. Arms everywhere, legs everywhere. And he'll have a stop for a bit. Take a breath. 2 points, 11-6 to 11-8. We've got the close one because the other games are out. Some big margins in some of the other SFL games. There's not sure, Lane says, so Johns has got it. He's going to get McIndoe out here. He's got Hay further up. Decides to go longer. Walker on the lead.
Oh, great fist.
Wonderful fist from Duggan. Another hack off the ground. Didn't work. Forward in there, but McIndoe gets it back now. Kicks it up high. At the back of the pack. Jeez, he nearly marked that Rundle. He's had a few opportunities. Jones, I should say. Watt's against him. Watt lays a tackle. Little nutmeg between his legs. Pressure then from Gordon. Sneaky handball out. Schenk has been quiet. Rundle again. He's looking for someone to kick to. Then he just pops it high to Quarry. Had 2 to beat. Couldn't beat either of them. And the mark ended up taken by Ford.
Ford's kick is a rank one. Kept it into Ashland. Had support there in Livingston. Now the ball bouncing over the top of Gordon. Walker picks it up and then gets slammed in a tackle. He's caught hold in the footy.
Whoa, tough call.
Not sure that he had prior opportunity, but umpire in the best spot there. Maybe saw something that I didn't see.
Be careful.
Jackson Gordon now from half back.
He swung in, yeah.
Short one on here. Nice mark taken by Tammins. Tammins short, finds Ford. Ford's got nothing really to kick to. They're really well set up behind the ball, the Lions. His kick goes long down towards Doreen.
Well, it's not a bad option.
Vincent
Back it to Doreen.
Goes okay.
It's out the full.
It's out of bounds.
Nearly out the fall off Johns' foot.
Code sees it.
Well, that's why there's mullets everywhere. Look at those lads there. They've all got mullets.
It's in, mate. It's in.
It's in.
I can't grow one. Boundary thrown there by umpire Fielding.
Well, your hair doesn't grow at the back, but it's the front.
It's just a bit grey, to be honest.
No one needs to see a grey mullet, do they?
Sammy Dean gets it off to Boscott. Boscott's handball out to Lane. Lane sold some candy. Now a chance for Code. Code's kick smothered nicely by Ward. Vincent kept it in and kept it alive. Big fly at the back, Duggan. Handball came over the top. Who's there? Boscott with a little bit of don't argue action. Then hit a torp. Big high one down towards Doreen and Co. Johns got tackled without it. Livingston jumps on the footy. We'll see a ball up on the point of the square.
He's there again, Zeitson, wasn't he? And he's hurt his leg. He's going to come off. I think he got whacked in that contest, but...
Jets, quick footy, isn't it, Peach?
Well, that's a loss too on the forward line for Cygnet. Yeah, It is. It's lifted.
Dean got his hands away just.
Did he get a handball there?
No. Cohen around the corner kick. High up towards Doreen and Co. Doreen with strength. Schenk courageous.
Well, he's
but what
Schenk.
A mark.
Absolutely squashed Schenk on the way down.
This.
How's that from Schenk? How's his head getting there? What was he doing?
He got shepherded off it nicely by Code, I think. And how's the bloke in the New South Wales Blues jersey at the background there?
Does he want to jump on it? It's dropped a bit in temperature.
He's got flip-flops on. What a loose unit. Anyway, Doreen going back for his 5th. And he comes. He'll get the little overlocker out here. Yeah, there it is. Gets called to play on.
That's coming. That's going to float.
Coming back. It floats through. Joey Doreen's got 5. And the margin back to 8 points.
He's just told the fans and some of the reserves and some of the retired Huonville players are having a light ale over at the Boozer to be quiet.
Very
cheeky.
Early to start doing that.
I'm not sure where Joey lives. He might be not getting a beer in the main street down the pub in the corner here near the river.
Oh, the 2 fingers out too.
They're not happy with him.
There they are.
Is that comedian? What's his name?
What's his name?
He's on you've met him, surely, on the Rosehaven?
Yes, yes.
I know you're an extra of an extra. You're the extra on Rose. We are spotting everyone. No Polly's here. We've got celebrities galore.
So ball up again in the middle. Walker wins it down. Boscott reads the play well. Then just slams it on the boot. Wiggins just pushed under the footy nicely. Out comes Code. Vincent going back. Gets it off. Nicely done to his teammate in Thorpe, who kicks out towards Schenk. Schenk and Logger Cohen.
Great
tackled without
Schenk.
it. Yep, smart footy there from Nippy.
Mr. Nippy. He's getting 52.
What for?
I actually think the player of the mark was in the right spot. And he's going to pelt here. He's going to tell it, nah, you're out of my way. Right, so we've got a set up here. Hay in the middle, asked for the footy. The kick in the end probably wasn't the ideal one, as Corey was in some significant harassment from Ashland. He dishes off the handball, tries to find Dean. Dean recoups, looks uncomfortable on his right, dishes it in. Dyrene then, now back again, nicking it over to Dance, dashing down and grabbing it as Code. Code into the pocket, just bounces out of Tammins' hands. Livingston on his left. And Cygnet has stemmed again, and a diving Schenk couldn't prevent the Livingston goal.
That was smart work. Just beautiful footy from Cygnet there all the way up the wing.
Cracking football here.
Started back with the contest with Ashland Beach.
And all the lights, all the torches are on. The torches that are taped to the wooden poles here, they're on. I tell you what's also on is some of the football from both these teams. We expect to see them at the top of the SFL ladder again. Cygnet getting beaten in a tight one against Hobart. Huonville have had a good run so far, but this is their first big test on their home ground. And they are being tested. The premiers from last year up against the runner-ups. Walker in the ruck, taking on Clark, Boscott and Hay. They've been tackling each other collaboratively all day. Golding runs out and Boscott tries to bust his way through the pack. Past Schenk. Missed it again. The yes was Rundle, who nearly snuck that one out as it bobbled in the pack. We've got Golding up forward, ready for a quick launch out, as Huonville will need to keep going. We're 18 gone. We've been going about 31 minutes for most of the quarters so far. Boscott waiting at the back of that contest. The two young Moulettes go at it. Winning out is Raunsey. Raunsey's kick. John's in best position. His left fist is so often in the way of a forward attack. Now it's going to be hacked by Watt. Doreen couldn't get his hand on it. Good play from him. One handball, second handball, the pressure on from both sides. Kicking up high. Duggan over the top, couldn't mark the chest mark. Bostock beating around one. Got around a second and then a neat little handball out from him. Finds Cohen. Cohen to Dance. And he just settles it. Dances up. Neither player can get it. Now it's Zeitson. Zeitson kicks high. A little off the mark. And the captain, or the co-captain, deep in defence. Now he finds one of his teammates further afield in Thorpe. Thorpe has a little run on here. Thorpe's been whacked after the footy. Now there's a push. He's going to get a free kick. And who's in there to say, you can't do that to one of my teammates, is Barnett. And a bit of close checking, and the ball's down the field.
I like that.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's been overturned. John, I don't mind that from Barnett and Rawson going in to stand up for a younger player. That's great stuff. You can see here, it's unnecessary.
So nothing here from Barnett.
No.
They both pushed and shoved.
Yep.
But it was the Rawson contest, and silly. Just those few things have gone against, and those kids probably just need to get out of the way. They're enjoying the footy, though.
Tie-dye.
The great thing is you can have a kick at half-time now, once the players are off the field.
It's great, isn't it?
Starting to smell and look like football again.
It is, Peach. She's 20 minutes, clicks over in the fourth
She's enjoying herself up there, that girl on top of the roof racks.
Perfect spot for footy.
You know who else is on the roof racks a lot? Martin Duffy. Hope he's going okay.
Gordon takes the mark nice and easy at centre wing. He looks up.
Yeah, he's all right. There's his thumb.
There's his weird little thumb.
It's just out of focus.
Gordon plays on. Nice long one down to Doreen and Co. Out the back, there's a chance.
Oh.
He's got it off the ground. Nicely done. Cody Raunsey has got a goal. And the margin extends even further. 20 points.
Rawnsley with a beauty.
He's my man.
He is quintessential
look
in
at
every
Deadrock
way.
just down there.
Look at that.
Livingston just trying to claim that it was his. Let's take a look at this. See if Livingston did have a little tap here. Let's have a look. Oh, he's going to claim it. Nicely done, Cody Rawnsley.
Good celebration too. I'm sure he's got some fans here.
Going back, Peach, to Johnny Thorpe on the line. I don't mind that from Barnett going over there and remonstrating with a bloke who's older than one of the junior members of your footy club. But it's unnecessary to give one away there.
Yeah, there's ways of doing it.
The free kick was downfield.
You've got to learn how to negotiate things in this world, but it's 20 point, and that's a fair bit to negotiate. Gordon, unfortunately for Huonville,
kicks it high, nicely done, roved at the bottom by Vincent. Rawson, who's been quiet by his normal lofty standards. Hay, who's got 4 to his name, takes a nice contested grab. Nowhere to go, though. He pops it up. Ward did well. He's down there still. Ford doing well, too. Ward, now Gordon. Gordon with a run, out to Wiggins. Wiggins with a short one on here. That's a smart kick to Zeitson. In front of Golding, plays on quickly. Wheels around onto his right boot. Jordan Lane over his head. Cam Johns, smart stuff by Dance. Which way does he go here? Dance around the corner with another one. Jake Dance has one in the first and one in the last. And maybe that is all she wrote for the Huonville Lions. 26 points the margin, Pete.
There's 10 minutes left, but it seems like a task beyond them at the moment. Zeitson again involved. He went off for a short period of time. Some serious rotations here from Cygnet. And it just got the wind behind them in the last little while. Doreen wasn't on it, but Dance up against the number 2 on the other side in Johns. He's elusive, and he found a little bit of area in the right pocket of goal.
So a couple of the final scores from around the grounds, Peach. Hobart 12-18-90 defeat New Norfolk 5-10-40. And Sorrel 28-24, 192 defeat Claremont 1-8.
Tough for Claremont. Their tight-knit group, though, as Ward misses it. Jones gets slung out of that tackle. Schenk bobbles in front of him. Boscock, he's lost the ribbon in the hair and it's flowing now to Dance. Nimble as he has been today. Dance low kick. Zietsen's got it. And he's had a couple of shots from here. Just within his range. He'll have to launch into this one. And see Zietsman, what's he kicked, Tubes?
Zietsen has kicked one straight.
He had a second there.
A couple of points.
So he's had a few opportunities. He's been really agile and active on that forward line. He's going to be right on the stripe. He's just going to get the distance. Unfortunately, it's the wrong direction and out of bounds on the full. So last throw of the dice here as Hay leads up. He's got a player in his hammer, as they say. And been decisive then. He may even get it back again, Hay. Wiggins, this is him. Rawson gets tackled, but then still manages to get a handball out. Bostock, that's just brilliant. And another quick snappy kick to Dance. Juggle, juggle, juggle. And he gets it on the third. He's in the left pocket. And he can line up for a second in a couple of minutes.
Well, it was a fast start to the Cygnet Footy Club early in this game. 16-point margin at quarter time. A 30-point margin at three-quarter time. What's going on here?
So Dance is going to go
downfield. Yeah,
it is. What's happened? Trying to get in. So McIndoe's having a conversation. He's got a smile of discontent. If there's such a thing on his face, and it's Rawnsley who's going to be right in front and should dob this. Be able to get clarity on that one, but the umpires have been good today. Rawnsley right in front, launches another for the Ports, and now they extend to what looks like a pretty comfortable margin. It hasn't been that. It's been tight and tough, but it's kind of the rhythm's been, we're expecting something more from Huonville. It's been snuffed.
Yeah, it's a 32-point margin now in favour of the Port. You can see some of the older veterans there, and Braden Livingston, Sam Dean just having a little spell on the sidelines.
Yeah, a great crowd today. 700 or 800 people have come along to the local derby, the Huon Classic.
And it's been a great day down here, Peach, with the Indigenous Round, the inaugural Indigenous Round, respecting our Indigenous communities down here in the Huon Valley. A wonderful initiative from the Huonville Footy Club. And their jumpers look fantastic. Lister got his handball affected by Hay. Hay's kick goes straight up and down, and the mark taken by Gordon. Out of bounds.
Nearly like in the backyard. It was touch, wasn't it? Nearly like in the backyard, isn't it? Where you kick it to yourself, run and mark it.
Yeah. So a boundary throw in here. I'd love to get another goal. The Lions, maybe with some belief. About 5 or 6 minutes to go, I think. Kicked out nicely and quick. Bouncing ball over. Rawnsley got his handball out towards Cohen. Cohen just tracks the ball nicely, but it only gets as far as Vincent, who finds McIndoe. McIndoe looks up, says, "Come at me, bro." And then he decides to go towards the goals.
That's going to go through.
It's touched on the line by Duggan. So Bluey Duggan, after a year at the Kingborough Tigers, has come back to his original club, which is great to see, after testing himself at TSL level. Will Ford now goes out wide, finds Duggan. There's the captain, Adam Duggan. Goes short, finds Cohen. Cohen looking up. Through the fingertips there of Code, rather. Scooping it up, throwing it almost. Thorpe gets it forward, but it's going to be Bluey Duggan that's taking the mark here in defensive 50. Duggan pops that one high. Good fist from Johnny Thorpe. Houth now goes in short. Just a little overcooked there for Brody Rundle. Out the back, here's a chance now for Lister. Lister with a short one, trying to find Rawnsley. He manages to read the play beautifully. Schenk just through his fingertips. A nice kick. Straight down the throat of James Zietsen. And he'll go back and have a shot at his second. He's had three set shots that have missed the mark.
All from this similar distance, so he's just pushing up and playing that high forward at the moment, and very effective. He's taken a bunch of good marks. He's got to nail this part of his game.
And here comes a nice long kick. Beautiful stuff from James Seetson, and that's the nail in the coffin of the Huonville Lions. A 7-goal straight final term, Peach, from the Cygnet Footy Club.
And there's that kick from Seetson. He's had one about 3 or 4 minutes ago and kicked it out of bounds in the full from 4 or 5 metres further around towards the boundary line, but he got that one on the target, had the radar working. So the fizz has just gone out of the swept drink. The swept drink being the Huonville Lions. The merged entity of Franklin and Huonville.
Yes, of course, the Franklin Lions and the Huonville Bulldogs.
That's
Peach,
it.
I done my research.
Yeah.
Ripped into me.
98, wasn't it? I think that's when they merged.
I think so.
Good paraphernalia down at the Franklin Hotel, the pub down there. Walker went up high. I reckon he's given away a free kick. He was climbing quite high and probably run out a little bit of oxygen. As Will Ford's had a really good game in defence for most of the part. He's going to tip up.
Note with interest that Brady Jones is not.
Is he on the ground at the moment?
He's on the ground. He's just sort of faded out, hasn't he?
Rawnsley on there. Walker with a little tap. It was neat.
Right on cue. Here he is.
Yeah, there we go. He came off the bench and bangs it high. No real chance then as Duggan was at the back. Rundle pinches it. They wanted to hold the ball. Hayes ever in there. Rundle again. Hay might still get it down. It's punched over the boundary line and Hay then sticks the Cygnet player into the turf there, just in front of the Cygnet cheer squad. The southern end of the ground here. The Glen Huon side, or the Glen Huon end. The chip goes out. And deep in the pocket in defence is Cohen. Reasonably quiet, but always uses the ball well. Cohen goes to Gordon. Gordon's had a really energised and competent game. Well, that was dangerous. Chipping it off, runs, and he's goal.
Nice goal there to Thorpe.
Well, Thorpe, I haven't seen much of him before, but he's had a nice little battle with his Moulet counterpart, Ans Rawnsley, and Thorpe kicks a clever goal at the end of the game here and gets it back to 30 points. We'll see here in the replay. Just a little pickpocket.
Can't wait for it, can you, Will Ford?
Yeah, you do have to take a couple of steps towards it. Didn't get the call that someone's bearing down on you.
Look at the boys there. And the Blunnies just
enjoying it.
Hanging off the back of the ute.
Bit of tape there on the knee, on the leg.
Well, what does this loss mean? Like, it's a 30-point loss at the moment, Peach. What do you think it means for Huonville? They're sitting on top of the ladder.
They don't get 4 points.
Yeah, no, I know, but like, is it worrying?
No, I don't think so. I do think, though, that their structure's different. They'll need to take a while just to get the rhythm and the positions right. Walker's a massive in, but he's really similar to Ward in many ways. They've just got to get a presence forward. Maybe even McIndoe was just rushing through as Clark. His kick's a little off. Schenk's got it. I think they need to work out what their forward structure is, because their back line's good. We know the middle's good. They've been a little bit short on the execution of the forward line, and that probably has been the difference between. And they need to know how to beat Cygnet, and they need to know how to beat Hobart. They're the two teams that are going to be fighting out, we think, at this stage, a premiership. And I mean, Dodgers, Ferry, and Norfolk, they'll be somewhere in it. Who knows where Lindisfarne will match up, but they need to work out how do we match up with those structures. Into half forward then. Hay spinning off a bump. Little chippy kick further afield, and it finds the hand of Parker. And Parker's going to have a shot here late. 32 gone. And there is a siren. It's a win. Not necessarily redemption for Cygnet. They won't be thinking about that, but they would have liked to come here to the home of the line, and they've got the victories. Parker on the siren, or in fact after the siren, kicks a goal for Huonville. They got too late, but it didn't matter. It was a brilliant first 10 minutes from Cygnet in this last quarter, Tubes Taylor, and they've got what is an excellent win for their club.
Yeah, so the end score is the Lions, what do we got, 12-7, 86. 12-8. 86 to Cygnet, 17-8, 110. A 24-point margin in favour of Cygnet. The goal kickers for Huonville: 2 to Golding, 2 to Parker, and 4 to Dylan Hay. Singles to Grubb, Rundle, and Johnny Thorpe and Jimmy McIndoe. Then for Cygnet, goal scorers: Joey Doreen with 5, then 2 to Jake Dance, Bailey Gordon, Thor Boscott, and James Zeitson. Singles to Ryan Wiggins. Better players on the day, Peach. I thought for Huonville, Cam Johns was very good down back all game. Probably not as good a use of the ball as we're used to from Cameron Johns, but it is very early in the season. Brady Jones was excellent. Dylan Hay, of course, with 4 goals. And Mitch Walker, I thought, who tried to turn the game in that third term. For Cygnet, I was looking through the list there in the last few moments of that term, and I couldn't really pick out any real standouts other than Joey Doreen. Will Ford down back was excellent. Bailey Gordon all day was very, very good. And Thor Boscott, that just provides that hardness around the contest that sort of drags his team into the game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
100%. Every time they needed a little bit extra, Boscott just took his initiative and was where the ball was and was just doing lots of little things. And he's I think people look over the shoulder when he's around because he's such an aggressive player. I agree, the back half was great. Wiggins up forward was outstanding. Really like Gordon, such a versatile football. And Wiggins, even though his second half didn't have as much influence, he's got so much upside to bring him into the side. The length of Lane and Doreen is going to be really hard for opposition teams to stop throughout the year, and we saw that with Doreen kicking those goals and Lane's mobile work around the ground, which allows the smaller, more agile ruck, and certainly against Huonville where you can do that, you can have a smaller ruck, really makes Cygnet, for me, one of the top 2 teams to beat this year.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I don't think it's all drastic stuff for Huonville though, Peach, considering they've got Ethan Brock, Reece Douglas and Nikolai Housing to come back into that grand final side.
Housing really lines them up. I think Housing's probably one of those underrated half-backers. So
I think what he does, Peach, Housing, or Big Pumba the Train, what he does is he takes that defender, that forward rather, and he really makes them earn every single kick they get. So if someone's having a good day, he can rely on Nikolai Housing to go to that forward and say, right, you've got a job. He can sacrifice his own game and provide a real.
And you're missing 3 goals from
contest.
3 goals from Brock. Brock, but I really think, as I said, Huonville aren't far off. Their mids and back are 2 of the best in the comp. Their forward line's just a structure, and once they work that structure out with Brock back in, hopefully they can work out a way that they can feed the ball in and start to get a score. Because we will see higher scoring this year. They can't rely on 60s and 70s. The score of 110. This is a good score on this ground. It is a high-scoring ground in saying that, and these are both aggressive, free-flowing football sides. But, gee, really enjoyable to be back at the footy with you, Tubes Taylor. Thanks for letting me come down in the car and picking me up. It's been a ripper.
No, you're a ripper too, Peach, and it's great to see them shaking hands after the game. All right, well, that about winds it up here from the Duff TV broadcast van. Peach Roberts and Tubes Taylor, your broadcaster. Thanks to Jerry on the pots and pans, and of course Martin Duffy up on the camera. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you at the footy. All right, we're down here with Thor Boscott. Thor, a great win to get your season back on track, I suppose.
Yeah, no, we established a game plan, and we followed through with it today, and got the chocolates out.
I think the boys, their structures are pretty good, and the way you possessed the footy through the whole game was really good. Is that something you've worked on in the pre-season, mate?
Yeah, I think mainly communication's massive, especially with we're still young. We're a very, very young side, but we also got Will Ford, Doug's, and we've got some older boys there as well. But yeah, it's just communication and trying to implement the game plan and do it for 4 quarters. That's basically what we're trying to do. So
I thought Bailey Gordon was excellent, mate, and Will Ford as well off that half-back line really stiffened you up. But the target of Ryan Wiggins up forward, almost a replacement for Josh Fox from last year. Those boys coming into your side has been good for your footy club.
Yep. No, Wiggo's definitely very good in inclusion for us this year. Obviously playing at Lauderdale with me for a number of years, and you get a lot out of him as well. His leadership on the ground is awesome, but his work ethic as well is unquestionable. So
we better let you get back in there and sing the song. Thor, congratulations on the win.
Cheers. Thank you very much.